It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning, Thursday, May the 16th. Guns N' Roses, Paradise City. The first song that the 5 members of Guns N' Roses wrote when they all got together for the first time with that lineup, the original lineup from the Appetite for Destruction album. The first song they put together in a rehearsal room in Los Angeles, Paradise City.
Well, that didn't bomb.
No, I think it was a good start.
That would encourage me to do more with those fellas.
Just give me a sign that we're on the right track. Oh, I don't know. We just wrote Paradise City.
Yeah.
In our first day as a band.
That works.
Pretty good start. Pretty good start for Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle that is the NFL season for 2024. Whoo, baby. We saw yesterday the games the Vikings were going to play, the opponents, but now we have the actual schedule.
Yeah, the schedule right
now
here in front
we
of us.
can get out the calendar. Now we can start booking flights. Now we can start
London.
making plans. Now we can get all excited. And by the way, just shout out to the NFL for yet again always delivering when we need it the most, because now on the precipice of tonight's horrific collapse for our beloved Minnesota Timberwolves, we can look ahead to the Vikings schedule.
Yeah, what Timberwolves season?
We can pretend the Timberwolves didn't drop 4 in a row to Denver, which, you know, and then we just look ahead to football. We get excited. We got the whole summer to just get, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And it's a great start. Week 1 at New York Giants. So we will come out of the gate strong, 1-0. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Let's not go any further. Let's just sit at the 1-0 because the schedule looks like a bit of a dogfight.
I feel like these teams parallel each other a little bit. You know, pretty good offensive line, good running game. You know, for the most part, you know, the Giants lost their big running back, but anyway, and solid defenses and quarterback issues. You know, because I mean, Sam Darnold is probably going to start the season. J.J. McCarthy isn't going to be ready to go right out of the gate.
I see your Daniel Jones, and I raise you one Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's
oh boy.
Yeah, in fact, Sam Darnold was the number 3 overall pick, I believe, in the draft for the New York Giants.
Jets. Darnold went to the Jets.
Oh, I thought he went to the Giants.
Daniel Jones is the no.
Darnold. I know where Darnold is now, and I know Daniels. I thought Darnold was originally drafted by the Giants, but it was the other New York team.
It was the other New York
Coach
team.
O'Connell on those first few games.
Yeah, I mean, you know, going to New York in the opener, a team that only added to a pretty darn good defense, you know, through free agency and the draft. And then, you know, no more electric environment last year than that Monday night game against the Niners. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to coming back and trying to get back at us for getting them last year. Houston Texans, with what DeMeco Ryans doing in year 1 to reach the playoffs and really solidify that team as an exciting team that's got a chance to really make some noise. So you really look at those first 3 games. They're going to be games we're going to have to play well in. 2 out of 3 at home. We want to be a lot better at home this year. It's a big thing.
Fireworks coming off of O'Connell.
Yeah, for him. Is he the most boring coach in the NFL? Just to stack up some wins. Another division title might be nice. But, yeah, he's no Sam Darnold.
He's pleasant.
He's what's our Lions guy? Campbell. He's over there talking about ripping people's kneecaps off, and O'Donnell's going, "Yeah, we'll get it started."
Yeah, not very entertaining.
But you know what? That's not what he's paid to do. He's paid to get that offense in shape, and with a little bit of luck, they'll be there. The interesting game that jumps off the schedule to me is Week 5. The New York Jets will fly to London, as will the Vikings. We will be playing the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, the who's now into Ayurvedic medicine and body cleanses, showing that he still reads all the wrong things. They'll be playing in London, Week 5, October the 6th.
Will that be early?
It'll be early, baby.
I like that.
And then they follow that up with an early bye in Week 6, and then a long slog. It's a pretty tough schedule. When I looked at the schedule yesterday, when I saw the games, just the opponents, I thought this looks like pretty good. I'm looking at it today. It just looks like it's a jungle. It's like, ooh, this is not going to be. The last 2 years were easier schedules than this one for sure.
All right, O'Connell talking about that Jets game in London.
Then we get a chance to go to Lambeau Field early on in the season before heading across the pond to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. And,
yeah, you mentioned that game. What's the excitement level to return? I know you did this 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's fun to get to be the home team this time. We kind of have our philosophy of how we.
It cannot possibly be fun to take an NFL team to Europe, no matter what you say. You get there, You're like, hey, fish and chips, it's cool. We're in London. Union Jack, give me a picture in that red phone booth.
Suck it up, millionaires.
There's a game in Brazil this year as well. I'm just saying, for a bunch of guys who obsess over routine, I get why they go to Europe, but just it's a wash. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it provides no value to me personally as a fan. I could give a Coyotes kidney where they're playing, unless it's here, if it's Soldier Field or something like that, that's kind of cool, U.S. Bank Stadium or whatever. But when they go play in Brazil and London, I'm actually a little turned off by it.
Well, it's fine if it's a road game, but it's a home game, which means there's one less game at U.S. Bank that there should be. I mean, they lose a home game because they're going to be in London, and everyone over there, they'll enjoy it as much as I guess American fans enjoy when Manchester United comes and plays here, which is to say they're like, oh, look, there it is.
Yeah.
There's that thing.
Yeah. Look at that.
Hey, what do you know? Hey, what do you know? But it's but the fact of the matter is, it's just day one of looking at the schedule, sweating the schedule, thinking about it, and getting excited. It is mid-May, and we are now looking at mid-September and going, oh, it's almost here. It's almost here.
It's going to be Christmas Day games too
on Netflix. That's
where it's going to be running.
That's the word on the
Steelers
street.
Kansas City game on Christmas is on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. You knew Netflix was jumping in when they spent the last 5 years saying we have no interest in live sports. Right. It was just a matter of time till they will join Amazon as the place to watch football from now on. Yeah. We've got week 17 and 18 as per usual. Packers Lions at the end of the season to close it off strong. Bears Packers Lions 3 of the final 4 in December. It's exciting, and as I said, and thankfully it comes right now ahead of tonight's Timberwolves game. Timberwolves, I'm as I said yesterday, I've been passionately following this team for at least 16 months.
Yeah.
So I've got equity.
Yeah.
16 whole months of being a Timberwolves fan.
You've not wasted that 16 months. What'd you say, 6 months, 16 months?
16 months, I guess, since I got to town. I mean, it was a team I admired from afar, and now that I got here, I'm like, okay, I can appropriate this team. I can say I'm a Timberwolves fan, and it's fine. I don't have an NBA team, so now I got one. And it's been great. And I do believe tonight, and I hate to say it, I do think, despite everything I've said the last week, there's no way Denver's going to come back and win 4 in a row. I think Denver's going to win 4 in a row, and they're going to win the game tonight.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, at least it's it's like shooting the puppy, putting him out of his misery.
Okay, from the NBA West semifinals to Old Yeller to the fact that we are all of us here listening, here talking, here today in Minnesota, at least on some level, we're all psychopaths, and I have proof. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, May the 16th. Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpions, a band, by the way, formed in 1965. That's right. They're 59 years old, Scorpions. They will be on the road next year to celebrate 60 years. That song, Rock You Like a Hurricane, I saw an interview once with Rudolf Schenker, the guitarist. One of my favorite all-time interviews because it sounds like it was taken from Spinal Tap, but no, it was taken from Rudolf Schenker. He said the great thing about that song, he said it's important to recognize the tension between the verses and the chorus.
Huh?
He said the tension is the thing. And he says the lyric is, the bitch is hungry, she needs to tell. So give her inches and feed her well.
Yeah.
That's the tension between then going to Here I Am, Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Smell the glove.
Oh, okay.
That's audio foreplay.
That's the tension.
I interviewed Herman Zgerman, the drummer for the Scorps, self-proclaimed Herman Zgerman.
Yeah.
And he co-wrote that song. He said he wrote it as F You Like a Hurricane, and for a while refused to release it to the band and let them record it because he's like, no, we have to record it as F You Like a Hurricane. They're like, we can't do that and make any money on it whatsoever. Sure. But I couldn't use the interview on the air because he said the F word and the C word
every time.
And the C word so many times.
Really?
That once I edited it out, it just wasn't there. And I'm like, and after the interview was over, I was like, wow, really dropped a lot of F-bombs and C-bombs there. He goes, can you not say that in American radio? You cannot say that in American radio, can you? I said, no. I don't know what they're doing there in Germany, man, but F you like a hurricane, man.
They're getting together. It's overpass for a big party. To answer your question, they're on the Autobahn having fun, rocking like these hurricanes that we hear about. That's a landlocked nation. We don't have hurricanes, Brian. The other oh, never mind. I was about to go down a whole tangent about another German drummer named Bodo Schopf, who played with the Macaulay Schenker group. That was the other Schenker. Not Rudy, his brother, Michael Schenker. Michael Schenker
boys, nothing but trouble.
Bodo, I was on tour with them, and their drummer, real quick, he came up to me one day and he goes, "Steve, I like your playing. You play with passion, but it's clear you've had no formal training."
Oh, it's clear.
And I said, "That's true. I'm self-taught." He goes, "Why don't you bring some sticks down tomorrow sound check? I'll show you a few little tricks. Open many doors for your playing." And I went, "Awesome, thanks." I never spoke to him.
Of course not.
I was like, "See you later, dude."
Yeah,
we're literally from different planets.
That's funny.
So every now and again you see a headline and it says one habit you have as a driver might prove that you're a psychopath. And so I opened the article. I'm like, oh, really? What that? It must be like accelerate, like passing people on the right shoulder. That was the first thing I thought. Oh, yeah. What sort of psychopathy can be determined by a habit behind the wheel? It's just texting and driving. That's it. Just if you text while driving, good chance you got some psychopathic behavior otherwise in your life.
Would you say that if you drink and drive, that's a psychopathic behavior?
If texting and driving is, drinking and driving certainly must be.
Okay, well, if drinking and driving is, more people, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Of course, I'm pretty much wrong about everything, so take this with a huge grain of salt. More people killed on the roads now texting and driving than drinking. So if you're texting and driving, you're drinking and driving.
Yeah. That's basically it. This is from a study of German drivers. So much like Rudolf Schenker, there's tension between the study and the result. So basically, you've got, they say there's a connection to people who text while driving, also have traits of antisocial behavior, problematic smartphone users. They call it PSU. Are you a problematic smartphone user?
Stop it.
There are 3 negative traits known as the dark triad, and all of these. The dark triad. Narcissism.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm talking about me. Narcissism, Machiavellianism.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a real big one. I think I said it great,
I
too.
think you did, yeah.
I had a great opportunity to mangle that word. Machiavellianism and then psychopathy. So, by the way, these things all sort of, if you're the person who, to Brian's point, if you'll drive down the road and not think twice about sending texts and reading texts and just being on your phone like that, then you've probably got a little bit of all this in your system. Yeah. Also, by the way, the dark triad, relatedly, in Germany anyway, they see traits of that in people who have deliberately loud cars.
Deliberately loud cars?
Like if you're driving a muscle car and you just like it and you thought, it makes me feel cool, I like a loud car. The Germans are saying, well, then you're pretty much psychopathic.
Oh, but I like those little I had a little rice burner pull up next to me, and it has the fin on the back. I'm like, oh, are you using that to keep your wheels on the ground when you hit like 180 miles an hour in the turn? But it sounded like a snowmobile.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
That's exactly right.
In Minnesota, that doesn't impress us.
I will admit to you, I have texted while driving. Certainly,
I have too.
I've done that. We probably all have.
I don't anymore. I quit drinking and driving, and I quit texting and driving. I did. I thought I'm going to kill someone.
And the good news is you did it without killing someone. You did it without any major incidents.
I was texting going down the road. You know how you do. 2 letters, look up. 2 more letters, look up. 3 more letters, look up. I'll just finish it real quick. And I looked up, and I just about rear-ended at 60 miles an hour a minivan.
Oh, gosh.
There's a couple little kids in the back. And
were there the stickers on the back with the mom and dad and the kids?
No, it wasn't stickers. It was the actual kids.
Yeah.
In the vehicle. Yeah, right. It was one of those baby on board deals. And I went, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Yeah. So I just, I like that. In fact, I know a lot of people are like, hey, man, you never call anymore. Because the only time I would make a phone call if I was behind the wheel. I'd jump in the car, start calling people, get all my calls out of the way, and then I get home and I turn off my phone. But I don't even do that as much anymore. But texting and driving, won't do it. Can't do it. Don't do it.
For a long time, I relegated the phone to when I'm in the car. I make calls in the car. And then I did have to acknowledge that not only do I not remember the drive, I don't remember the call. I'm driving and talking, and I'm like, "Hey, been meaning to catch up. So let's go. Let's break this down. Let's go over this conversation." Yeah. And then I get home, and I'm like, "What the hell did we just?" We just came to some very, very important conclusions, none of which I can remember right now.
What is it about taking a phone call at home? I know I'm not the only one. As soon as I get on the call, even if it's dear old mom, I'm like, are we through yet?
My mom called me out once. She said, honey, anytime we're on the phone, you yawn a lot. And I was like, oh my God, really? She goes, you a few minutes in, you just start to yawn. And I think what it is I don't care for phone calls. I talk a lot during the day, just sitting around with whoever, with Rosemary or whoever, I guess. Maybe that's it. But I do know this. If I'm on the phone, I have to pace. I cannot sit still for a phone call unless I'm driving.
I got to walk.
I constantly walk while I'm on the phone. Yeah. When I take Chauncey for a walk, that's now where I return a lot of phone calls. I'm out with him. He's sniffing, doing his thing, not trying to set any speed records. That's a great time for me to be on the phone because I just walk and talk. I can't stand the idea of sitting in a chair for a phone conversation. It makes me crazy.
It's all business.
Just out of curiosity, I was talking with my daughter one time for 44 minutes. I looked down the call. I was like, wow, I was on the phone for 44 minutes and it wasn't an emergency. We just had ourselves a nice chat and I checked my steps. I walked a half mile around the house talking to my daughter in 44 minutes. I was like, wow, that's also healthy.
Screw texting and driving. That's psychopathy.
Yeah, that is psychopathy. If you're driving into work this morning and you disagree with us, shoot us a text on the talk and text line, 651-989. Let's just be careful
I saw
there,
that one coming. Look up. Look up. Watch out. Mike Evans' Hollywood Report coming up. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, Thursday, May the 16th. Let's head west. It's time for the Mike Evans Hollywood Report.
Hey, good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul. One more day, we got the weekend. You know what the weekend means? Not only does it mean watching a lot of sports on television, it also means going to the movies. And the best place to go is Marcus Theaters. Got some movie reviews tomorrow and some more great movies that you can see exclusively at Marcus Theaters. They are the best. Tuesday, $6 for any movie. Well, the hottest news that I have not been able to confirm, but boy, there's a story out there that the FBI and the New York Police and the Los Angeles County Sheriff are combining their efforts on looking into those sexual assault charges against P. Diddy. When I find out more, I'll let you know. So, on a happier love note, Bradley Cooper and model Gigi Hadid, apparently very, very serious. Some say they could get married. A little surprising. They have some differences. I mean, Gigi is just 29, Bradley 49. Gigi is a practicing Muslim. Bradley is very active Catholic, and while Gigi has been treated for social anxieties, doesn't like being around people, in fact, even treated via psychotherapy, Bradley loves to throw parties and is a bit of a social butterfly. Gigi was with British singer Zayn Malik. They had a child together, but however, when Malik pleaded no contest to criminally harassment of Gigi's mother, and he was sentenced to 360 days probation and counseling for anger management, well, you shouldn't be surprised that relationship was over. There are two things that they do have in common, both very important. Number one, as I mentioned, Gigi has a child, but so does Bradley Cooper. Remember, he had a daughter with another supermodel, Russian Irina Shayk. The other important thing they have in common, Gigi is a Muslim, doesn't drink. Bradley Cooper has been sober for 20 years. TV news, Will Ferrell and Rami Youssef will co-write and co-star in a Netflix 10-episode series, a comedy called Golf. Will Ferrell will play a very famous golfer that has some very weird quirks. Should be good. So, to get a younger audience, the creators of Jeopardy will release a spin show called Pop Culture Jeopardy. Pop Culture Jeopardy. Now, years ago, they ran that idea by Alex Trebek, who reportedly said, "Over my dead body." Well, Alex is gone, and that show is on. And I can't wait for the special. And I know, Steve, you're going to love this. Road Diary, Bruce Springsteen. It's a documentary that will air on Disney and Hulu. It will detail Bruce Springsteen's 2023 and 2024 concert tour on and off stage. Boy, I love the boss. Been to a lot of Bruce Springsteen concerts. Steve, I think you will agree they are great and very, very long. Longest concerts ever. Last couple concerts, they were too long. I couldn't even stay for all of them. Hey, movie reviews tomorrow. Have a great day, Mike Evans. See ya.
Yeah, Springsteen will get on stage for a while. That's for sure. Last time I saw a Springsteen gig, the set list was 38 songs long, and in the middle he started taking requests.
Yeah.
And wasn't replacing the songs on the set list. He was adding songs. Literally, there's a piece of paper with 38 song titles, and then in the middle he's like, hey, that guy's got a sign. Let's play that one. And I was like, okay. I'm gonna go get some lunch and a shower and come back, and you'll still be on Jungle Land? All right.
Last time I saw him, I was loving it, but it was like,
Yep.
Really?
I was same deal. I went through a big Springsteen phase there for a while. He has a huge following here in Minnesota, I found out, standing in line waiting for tickets, people trading bootleg Springsteen cassettes. And, I think it was somewhere during the third encore. I'm like, okay, listen. Buzz is wearing off. Had a good time. It's been about 3 hours. We'll catch you next time you're in town. Well, the guy likes to go to work.
He is keeping the wolves at bay, is what he's doing up there. Every minute he's on stage, he's not sitting in a dark room by himself going, I had a tough childhood. By his own admission. Hey, I'm not talking. He
tells you all the stories. You get a lot of stories. I saw him. I think the first time I saw him, the first time I saw him was on the Born in the USA tour, but I did get a chance to see him at an intimate show at the Orpheum, and about a third of the show was stories. I'm like, is it the story show?
When the Broadway show, when they released it, to listen, I streamed. I was sitting outside my daughter's gymnastics, outside of a cheer competition, and I had like 6 hours to kill in between her performances. And I went to the car, and I literally, I'm not exaggerating.
No.
I literally listened to the entire. I'm not a Springsteen guy, and I listened to the entire thing like on Amazon, and it was awesome. I mean, I was like, man, I could sit through this all day long. That E Street Band plugs in and gets going, and that stiff-ass Max Weinberg on the kid. I'm like, no, I'm out, man. Tap me out. Find an ounce of swing, and maybe I'll check it out. All right, let's look back. I'm laughing at myself. Any chance to swipe at Weinberg, I take advantage of it. Sports history. On this day in 1980, the NBA had truly arrived. It was reborn because it was on this day that rookie 20-year-old Magic Johnson beat the Sixers, bringing the Los Angeles Lakers a title. Remember, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did not play in Game 6 in Philly, so the 6'8" rookie point guard jumped center and scored 42 points, had 15 rebounds and 7 assists, and the 80s NBA was here. The Celtics won the next year. Magic and Bird came in. Title, end of story, paving the way for Jordan.
He brought in the little, I do remember that, and he brought in that little mini hook. He was doing Abdul-Jabbar's
the baby hook.
That's what it was, the baby hook.
That was, and as a Magic/Lakers fan, I was thrilled on this day in 1980 because A, my Lakers won a title, and B, Celtics fans were dying. So I love that, of course. I'm a Schadenfreude guy from way back.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Boy, Vikings fans are excited today, thinking about how drunk they'll be this fall as they cheer on the purple and gold.
Well, they better be.
It's like the old Earl Campbell ads. Skull, baby.
Skull. Yeah. That's
remember?
That's it.
Man, just take that
Minnesota
A out
native
right
Earl
there.
Campbell.
What?
No.
I was going to say, what are you talking about?
I think it was drafted by
Minnesota,
the Giants.
Texas, one of the others. The Vikings schedule is out. Season opener at New York Giants. 1-0 will be about as good as it gets for a while because this is a bit of a gauntlet, man.
It is.
Week 2, we're hosting the Niners, who will be good and still in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Week 3, hosting the Houston Texans, who are formidable.
That could be your Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, I mean, they're serious this year. Then you're at Lambeau. Then you're in London to play the Jets. That first 5 games before the Week 6 bye, it's rough. I mean, we don't need to go any further in the schedule. That's enough to bite off and chew and think about for a minute.
Diggs, Stephon Diggs is on Houston now, too. That'll be a little homecoming for him.
C.J. Stroud had a rookie year that we haven't seen in a long time from a quarterback. So yeah, at Giants, that's your best hope, and then it's just going to be a dogfight till we get to the Week 6 bye.
Yeah, I mean it's we've got this Sam Darnold. So we like the Giants, the Vikes don't really have an NFL quality starting quarterback, and that's going to make for a tough season. We saw what that looked like at the last half of the season. J.J. McCarthy is not going to be an NFL caliber quarterback in 2024, 2025. Maybe next season. But Coach O'Connell had these colorful remarks regarding the first few games of the season anyway.
And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth. All right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up,
I had that in my file under entertaining head coaches in the NFL. I'm sorry, this is Coach O'Connell.
Yeah, I mean, going to New York in the opener, a team that only added to a pretty darn good defense.
He's so Minnesota.
Through free agency and the draft. And then, no more electric environment last year than that Monday night game against the Niners. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to coming back and trying to get back at us for getting them last year. Houston Texans with what DeMeco Ryans doing in year one to reach the playoffs and really solidify that team as an exciting team that's got a chance to really make some noise. So you really look at those first 3 games. They're going to be games we're going to have to play well in. 2 out of 3 at home. We want to be a lot better.
All right. That was 30 seconds. It felt like 4.5 minutes. Hey, listen, I really do like Coach O'Connell. I like he's steady on the sideline. He gives you that Bud Grant vibe. But if Bud Grant was a nice guy, Bud Grant was a very nice guy, but if he appeared nice on the sideline, there's something very Minnesotan about Coach O'Connell. But yeah, just win the games, just coach the hell out of the team like you have been doing. Last season, to get into the playoffs. Or wait, did they make the playoffs last year?
His tone, no. Not exactly. His tone is like that of someone who's you're helping your nephew make his first Kraft mac and cheese.
Yes.
You can do milk or water, but I prefer actually water. It says use milk, but I prefer the water.
You're doing fine.
And you want to get it to a boil and put the powdered cheese in just a little bit at a time. You stir it. Don't dump it all at once. You'll get clumps. You just want to keep it going. Sometimes even a fork is better than a spoon. He's just going through some mundane.
Yeah, I want him. I'd let him babysit my kids, and I don't even really know the guy, but just listen to him. He talks about the Packers, and of course, now last year I took a trip to England, as you guys know, and I've mentioned once or twice in October. And as soon as I get there's a Packers jersey, and I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Everywhere I go on this planet, it's like a virus. Yeah. It's like a pandemic, a Packer pandemic around the world. And Maria said, "Oh, didn't you know they're playing the Ravens? They're in town." I said, "What?" She said, "We did not come to England to watch an NFL football game." I was like, "Oh, I don't want to go see the Packers play the Ravens in London. That would be horrible.
That'd be awful.
Yeah, no one wants to see that." Then I started seeing the Ravens. So anyway, the Vikings are headed over to England to play none other than the Jets. He mentions the Packers here as well.
Then we get a chance to go to Lambeau Field early on in the season before heading across the pond to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. And
you mentioned that game. What's the excitement level to return? I know you did this 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's fun to get to be the home team this time. We kind of have our philosophy of how we approach the game, but it's one of those things playing anytime you're playing a team with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback,
I want to get him drunk.
Really good, talented defense. It's going to be a challenge. We're going to have to prepare like crazy.
So you see how it goes. He goes on and on about it, but he's getting the team prepared.
It makes perfect sense that there's Packer fans in England, though, because, there's some guy who's like, "You mean you could put cheese on my head?" I could put some Stilton up on my head, my English blue. Yeah, if that's the case, let's do that then. Let's put cheese on our heads and watch football. That's fantastic. Maybe I'll go with a double Gloucester cheese instead. Yeah, they're loving that stuff. Speaking of insanely bad accents, I need to brush up on my Canadian. By the way, isn't it hilarious? It's like when someone says, "Do you do an American accent?" And we all know there's like a billion different American accents. You're talking to somebody from Winnipeg and you go into your, northeastern Nova Scotian accent. They're like, "That's not the same, man." But yeah, it is. To me, it's all the same. It's all Canadian. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Check this out. Here's my favorite story out of Canada in a long, long time. The first element is this. Beautiful. There was an attempt to set a world record in Canada.
Okay.
For most people dressed as dinosaurs in one place.
What?
Oh, good luck to them.
Why?
Most people dressed as dinosaurs. We want to get some people in, all dressed as dinosaurs. The record as it stands right now, less than I would have thought, 252.
Oh, that's
the standing
modest.
record.
We could do that here in the parking lot.
Thank you. We could give us 48 hours. We'll get 253 people in dinosaur costumes out in the parking lot. But in Canada, this was an attempt made, and they ran into a little trouble. They weren't able to establish the record for a reason that could only happen in Canada.
Well, you only have so many dinosaur costumes in Canada to go around.
No, it wasn't that.
Oh, no Party City?
No shortage of dinosaur costumes.
Oh, really?
No. The problem was there was too many people there. Over 6,000 people.
Well, they couldn't count that high?
They weren't ready for so many, so they couldn't get an actual official count.
Oh, my God.
What does that even mean?
Up, for God's sake.
Get some interns.
T-Rex is over here. We'll need the Triceratops. Just start counting.
So we need 252 of you to come over here and get in line. And basic head count, it looks like there's about 6,000, so I don't know what we're supposed to do here.
Okay, so anyone got an abacus?
Oh,
anyone?
my God.
No?
They effed up being F-ups. Oh, Canada.
It's fun. Everybody should do it once in their life, eh? It gets you out enjoying the day. I hope we break the world record. This is just awesome. I'm so glad they put this on out here. This is our territory. This is dinosaur land.
It is? What? Wait, what's happening?
Montana is.
Yeah.
It's fun. Everybody should do it once in their life, eh? It gets you out enjoying the day. I hope we break the world record. This is just awesome. I'm so glad they put this on out here. This is our territory. This is dinosaur land.
Yeah, well, if we could only get Coach O'Connell with that kind of enthusiasm about the team I mean, God bless him. I give Canada a lot of grief, but you go up there and it's an innocent time. Mr. Rogers should be their prime minister.
Sure.
I was in Calgary a couple of summers ago up there checking out the whole Banff Jasper National Park thing. Insanely awesome, awe-inspiring.
Incredible.
And I start watching the nightly news one evening at the hotel, the Calgary News, and it's, the fluff pieces we do at the end of the newscast. Hey, look at these are dogs in a bouncy house?
Yeah.
That's their whole newscast. And then finally, I'm watching this. I told Maria, I said, I'm going to watch this until I see some hard news. Finally, they go, there has been a murder. There's been a shooting. And I went, there we go. We've got some real crime here in Detroit. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. They had to hop across over to Detroit just to get some hard crime. But God bless Canada.
Don't forget, that Ambassador Bridge is what keeps us safe. If it weren't for the bridge.
And you wonder why you got hassled trying to get into Canada with your band.
Hey, sitting at that Ambassador Bridge trying to get into Canada once, and they pulled us all off the bus. They put us in the office to make sure we're not carrying drugs or anything. And we're all sitting in there, and one of the guys on our crew, it's the first time I ever saw this actually happen in real life. I couldn't believe it because I was like in my mid-20s. He was sitting down, and he lit a fart. I'd heard about it, but I'd never actually seen it. And he didn't just light a fart; he lit a monster fart, and the flame just shot, right through his jeans. It's a very real thing, and we all just fell out. And a guy comes around the counter, and he's like, "We don't need all the what you're doing over here. This is not. You're not here to have a party. We need you to keep it quiet." And he was talking like that.
Oh, my God.
And one of the other guys in the crew said, "Hey, I'm really sorry. It's just that he lit a fart." And literally the customs guy goes, "Oh, he did you? Did you? Oh, you had a lighter? Yeah, that can be a good time." He just completely dropped it. I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a good one." I'm just like, man, this is absolutely incredible.
Fun. Everybody should do it once in their life, eh?
Man, and lighting a fart. Think about it, which is a real thing.
Oh, sure. I had a buddy in college that actually did it when we thought it was just an urban myth. He not only did it, but he burned Trini Gonzalez was a fairly hairy fella.
Yep.
And he caught some hairs on fire and had to sleep, he said, with a wet washcloth between his cheeks. So it got a little burn in there.
Yeah, my cousin Andy burned through his sweatpants.
See, right there. But he didn't do it at customs, did he? Didn't do it at immigration, getting across the Ambassador Bridge. It's just, but it's a slippery slope. If you start lighting farts like that and having a good time, then you have no idea how quickly you can find yourself. Well, like a gentleman in Italy last week who was seen and photographed and filmed on video. A gentleman at a gas station took a gas pump, nozzle,
no,
dropped his trowel,
no,
and put it up his six.
No. In the beehole.
He went as President Lyndon Baines Johnson would say, in the bunghole.
Did he?
With a gas nozzle.
Is this a bath salts thing? Is this a fetish?
I think it would have to be, but I'm going to say this.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Here he's masturbating. This is he's got the hose going in and his hose sticking out. It's pixelated here. Oh no, not this one. I'm looking at one. This is on this is in Italy. Imagine being on vacation in Italy. Hey, look.
I was literally half a second away from saying, "Don't open that link," and then you're like describing in great detail.
Look at the rigatoni.
Oh my god.
Look at the rigatoni.
That's got I don't want to use that nozzle even in my truck after that. My poor truck. Can you? Is fecal matter bad for your jet?
It's not good.
Think of the benefits.
It's not good.
Yeah, the fuel injection system clog or
of all the things
in the world.
That's not one drug. That's a healthy mix. That's a cocktail. That's a host of drugs.
Name. You've got to Google this one today on your work computer for all of your coworkers to see as they wander by. I highly recommend. As I Googled that, you know what else came up? In Erie, Pennsylvania, a woman high on meth dies after pumping gasoline into her anus.
See, okay. No. So this is the new. Boy, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
this is where we are.
This is in 2018.
Oh, it's been going on for a while then, this trend.
Yeah, the victim been known to abuse multiple substances, but her drug of choice is meth. Mm-hmm. The woman ran across several lanes of traffic to the gas station, grabbed a pump nozzle before pulling down her skirt up, and then grabbed the handle. She went with Uranus full of, pumped her full.
I'm gonna go out on a limb again and say that's meth plus. There's extra additives. I've been around people on speed. They didn't do anything like that.
A horrified motorist looked on as the woman proceeded to shove the nozzle in and began pumping gas. "Oh, that feels good," she says.
Okay, all right.
Called out to onlookers until the cashier activated the emergency stop. She later collapsed onto the ground. The gasoline had flooded the woman's internal organs after it was absorbed through her rectum. Damn near killed him. I think it did.
Man, my.
Yeah, no, she died as a result of
I think that's called a sagacitory.
Yeah, you don't want to be lighting those farts.
So Erie, Pennsylvania, and then Italy, as they say. Hey, speaking of Italy, I've got a recipe for Tuscan chicken I want to share with you. It's worth the wait. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Thursday, May 16th. Man, Roger Waters is a fun guy, huh? Oh, man. I listen to those Pink Floyd records. They are a scream.
I mean, it's all right there in the lyrics.
Man, I mean, he's just partying, man. Just living it up. Party down.
Has he ever written a party tune? Just to raise a little hell, No, nothing like that. Pretty serious guy. Takes himself pretty seriously.
Takes the whole thing pretty seriously. What was I going to say? Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is good. We were discussing earlier in the show, and if you missed it, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but there was a gentleman in Italy who was pleasuring himself with a gas nozzle up the six. Look, I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's coursing through his bloodstream, but I got thinking about Italy, and then I got thinking about Italian food, which I'm a fan of. I'm a big fan of Italian food.
Sure. I know that whipped up my appetite, that story.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm like, man, there's no shortage of opportunities to learn more and more about Italian cuisine. TikTokers, they love to post the TikTok videos, man. People love to post their recipes.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm. They go through it. Here's a pretty good one. If you're interested in making a Tuscan chicken dinner, a TikToker posted a video explaining a situation that she encountered at home.
I feel so bad. Look at what my poor mother did. She just cooked this beautiful meal, this Tuscan chicken and this amazing sauce with a new olive oil that she ordered from online. Pure Greek olive oil. And only after she'd finished did we discover that it's shower gel. The chicken tastes like straight up soap. How do you feel right now? Like I want to physically hurt someone and hit something really hard.
She wants to hit something really hard. Yeah, the old olive shower gel.
Remember at summer camp, one of the guys thought he was getting shampoo, but he got hair tonic.
Yeah.
That's what he was washing his hair in.
What is hair tonic?
Yes, I don't know why they would have that at summer camp. It's like an old man,
you find it in the old barber
liquid
shops.
Grill
sure.
cream kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's great.
Oil.
Just rub it in. I once, smoked some oregano. I thought it was pot.
Yeah.
That was good.
That wasn't on purpose, but and we had a caller as well one time switch something up. But you can't eat that shower gel. You get a little bit of soap in something. That's a diuretic. That'll open you up.
Yeah, that'll do the trick. Speaking of barbershops, I used to love that all the combs in the jar with the blue liquid. It was just that blue liquid. They'd pull it out, shake it, run it through your hair, and put it right back in there with all the other combs.
Yeah.
And I would stare at that as a kid. Literally like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like, what is that stuff?
Probably Windex.
Yeah,
I think so.
Probably just a straight up Windex. Yeah. That'd do it. Not so much mixing up a recipe. My brother once, I remember, he went to change the oil in his car, and I think he got the oil. And the transmission fluid reversed.
Oh no!
I want to do that.
And then started to go on a road trip and didn't get very far.
No,
at
no,
all.
not viscous enough.
He was like changing the oil, and he's like, man, this oil is really clear. He was like, what's going on here?
I did that with a lawnmower once. I think I filled up. What did I do? I dumped oil in the gas tank or something. Mm-hmm. It was kind of one of those screwy European. It was a green lawnmower, whatever the green ones were. I was like, well, that's where you normally put them. Yeah, I did that once.
It doesn't take much to ruin. Doesn't take much to ruin a recipe.
Little NyQuil chicken.
I've learned that NyQuil chicken's still the grossest thing ever. Why take two perfectly wonderful things and combine them for no good reason? I'm a NyQuil fan. I'm a chicken fan. I don't need them in the same meal. And speaking of meals, there's a bunch of stuff. So I've been here, I got here last January, 16 months. Yeah. I'm still learning. I'd love to say that I'd already had a Juicy Lucy before I got to town. I'd heard of it. I'd been in Minneapolis a bunch of times, but I'd never had one. And I finally did. Since I've been to town, I've had a few, and they're, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But my first few months here, I'll be honest, I kind of acted like I knew what the whole Juicy Lucy thing was. I was just
went with it.
Yeah, I was just going with it. I didn't want to interrupt the flow of conversations.
What if it was like something? What if it was like our version of haggis or something?
It could have been, and I would have been the guy just eating it, going, I open my big mouth.
Lutefisk.
But I'm still learning. I'm still learning about a lot of things. And Zepp, I'm looking at a list of Midwestern foods, and I'm just flying blind here. Runza. Runza is something in Nebraska, a comfort food. It's a doughy bread pocket filled with seasoned ground beef, onions, and cabbage. I mean, it looks like any number of things you would get if you were, traveling around the world. It's like a pastry with meat in it. But I've never heard that word.
Yeah, pot pies.
Yeah, I've never heard the term runza. I've also never heard of this one. Chislic.
Oh, Chislic. Now, this could be regional. We do everything just slightly different in South Dakota.
It says South Dakota, the thing I'm looking at.
Oh, it does? Okay.
It says, in fact, the state food of South Dakota. That's what it says.
It was ours. So we would use deer. We'd use deer meat typically, and it's just a big cookout. And all you do is you just cube it. You just cut up that fresh old deer meat. Fresh is good. And then, not frozen or anything like that, but just cut up a deer and cube it and throw it in. We had a big old wok. I was like, imagine a wok the size of, like a manhole cover or something like that. And then you just put a bunch of oil in there, you fry it up, and you drink a bunch of beer with it.
Nice.
There's some seasoning that might go into that, a bunch of salt or something.
Okay, so it's
good.
So it's basically whatever meat you get.
Venison for us.
You cube it and deep fry it.
Yeah, some people would do it with beef as well, but just a good old Chislic. Pretty simple. Simple as I don't even know where the word Chislic came from, but we'd have a Chislic party. That was common.
Another one. So we talked about this one yesterday. Sloppy Joe's to the rest of the world. A tavern in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Or in Iowa, they call it a loose meat sandwich.
Yeah, I hear about that too. Loose meat. That's my old college nickname. Loose meat sandwich. Yeah, I get it. It's a regional thing.
Wow, you ever heard of this one? This one is apparently from St. Louis, but it's called the St. Paul sandwich.
Right.
Which has nothing to do with St. Paul, Minnesota. It's a Chinese-American dish. Egg foo young patty topped with lettuce, tomato, pickles, and mayo on white bread.
What a dumb name. St. Paul.
The St. Paul.
Yeah, I don't know. You eat it upside down. Yeah. I don't know.
Any of that?
Bland.
Yeah, I've never. This is fascinating.
St. Louis.
Still got so much to learn. Upper Midwest, the cannibal sandwich. Anything? also known as tiger meat or steak tartare.
Oh, yeah. Tiger meat, we called it in South Dakota, and that was just raw ground chuck, and you'd work in, we'd use silly things like, your onion mix, onion soup mix, dry mix.
Oh, sure.
Lipton. Yeah, the Lipton. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
The Lipton
French
onion, whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
Dump that in
this
there, work
one I'm
it in.
looking at, raw ground beef served on rye bread with onions, salt, and pepper.
Why doesn't that make your tum-tum sick to have the tartare?
We drink a lot of Everclear with
it.
Yeah.
It looks great. I can tell you that. Man, I got a lot to learn. I'm still excited about this. How about the Kringle over from Wisconsin?
Don't know the Kringle.
The Kringle, large oval-shaped pastry, almond, cherry, pecan. It's just a breakfast pastry type of thing. Okay, fair enough.
Man, sounds tasty.
I think I was, what am I now? I'm 48 years old. 48. I wish I was 48. I'm 58 years old. I was in my 40s the first time I ever had a cheese curd.
Okay.
Had heard about it forever. Did the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what the hell's a cheese curd?
Yeah.
Finally had one. I was like, oh, that'll work.
That's
a real taste of heaven.
Yeah.
That's a real deal. I've never been more hungry now than I am.
I know.
And don't come into the Midwest and go, oh, you mean a mozzarella stick? No. Cheese curd is not a mozzarella stick.
I don't know if Marysville, Ohio has any special things to add to the Midwestern food list, but if you find yourself in Marysville, Ohio, you might want to go to a KFC. Nothing special about the Kentucky Fried Chickens in Marysville, Ohio, except that people keep leaving cash in them.
What?
In what?
Check this out. $25,000 was found. $12,000 was discovered in a bathroom at a KFC, hidden. Like it was bundled up and it was hidden. And the same week that $25,000 was found in a public bathroom at a theater in Marysville, Ohio. So someone in that town is leaving giant bundles of cash in public restaurant or movie theater bathrooms.
Isn't that like a witness protection destination? There's some kind of payoff going on out there. Yeah, sounds mobby.
They're not very good at it. I mean, other people are finding it, for crying out loud, all over town. Maybe some of them got picked up, but yeah. Would you be nervous if you walked into, say, a KFC bathroom, found thousands of dollars in cash about taking it?
Right. My first thought would be, I'll be dead before I even get out of this room.
Yeah, right, exactly. They're probably watching. As soon as I walk out with the bag, as they're walking in, you're a dead man.
This is a small town, right? I love this line from the story. So you get 25 large in a public movie theater bathroom. That cash was hidden in multiple individual stall trash cans. At the KFC, the money was banded up inside the tanks of a couple of toilets.
What? Is there any precedent for that?
25 grand at the theater, 12 grand at KFC, and cops believe the two cases might be connected. You think? A town of a few thousand people, someone's leaving dozens of thousands of dollars around in bathrooms, and you think there's a connection? I don't know what interstate it's on, but someone's running something somewhere.
Yeah, it's otherwise you've just got some weirdo eccentric, getting their kicks. Yeah, I just leave thousands of dollars and gets the town all worked up, and people start talking in the cafes and the bars and theorizing. But that's weird.
If you were to come across a obscene amount of money, let's just say you hit the Mega Millions this week. Would you think about doing stuff like that just to
punking people?
Yeah, like if 25 grand was honestly like a penny to you as of tomorrow, would you just bundle up 25 grand and leave it places just to watch people find it?
Like you're gluing a $10 bill to the sidewalk and watch people try to pick it up or something like that.
No, but there's no punchline. Like you'd literally leave it for whoever finds it. But then, would you think like, hey, it's the least I can do? Because, again, like to your point, if you walk into a bathroom, a public bathroom at a theater or a restaurant, and find all that money, you got to really think long and hard before you just pocket it and leave.
I'm not going to think long and hard before I take, like, say, 1,000 and shove it in my pocket and walk out. Right. I'm going to do at least that. That I feel like I can get away with. It's walking out with the bundle of cash that might make me a little nervous. But I would leave the bathroom and quickly get on my cell phone and start making a plan with my buddy. How are we going to do this? How are we going to get this money out? I'll stay in the bathroom and guard it. Don't leave. I'm coming down to create a diversion. That'd be a hell of a sense of humor.
If you did, and by the way, never a bad time to remind our listeners, if you do win the lottery, don't ever tell anyone. That's job one. Keep it to yourself. There was a $1.35 billion Mega Millions jackpot last year. It was one of the biggest ever. One single winner in the state of Maine won that sucker. $1.35 billion. He is now involved in a lawsuit. His ex-girlfriend, who is also the mother of his child, he told her about the money.
Okay.
He made her sign an NDA. She can't tell anyone about it. And apparently she did.
All right.
She told her family and his.
Of course she did.
And he's pissed off about his own family finding out about it.
Did you forget why you left her in the first place, or she left you, or what went wrong, or it didn't work?
Her response, so check this out. So he's suing his ex, saying she violated the terms of our...
he's suing her.
He's suing her because he made her sign a contract.
Dude, you've got $1 billion. Why are you suing someone?
You can't tell anybody. She told both her and his family, apparently. Now, check this out. His father is on her side saying, no, he got drunk and told me he won all the money. So it's turning into this whole thing. My son came to my house and informed me and my wife that he won a large amount of money in the Maine State Lottery. The dad said he never told me how much it was, but he said it was more than any of us would ever need. And he said that, then the guy broke up with his girlfriend, and his own parents were like, she's a good girl. She had your baby. What's the matter with you? So basically it's a case of a guy winning $1 billion and just deciding he's done with everyone. And then now they're all suing each other over it, which is kind of what happens.
Yeah. I mean, take your $1 billion and run off. I mean, I don't know why you would sue anyone. Being the guy that won the $1 billion, what are you going to get out of the mother of your child that you're now abandoning?
Yeah.
Which, hey, man, different strokes for different. You've got $1 billion. You want to upgrade. You want to go be a playboy. Knock yourself out. Take care of the child, of course, which you can afford to do. But, yeah, what a messy thing. You talked about winning an obscene amount of money and then leaving around and punking people like in Marysville, this money that's showing up at these businesses mysteriously. I think I would tell everyone. Because I think my punking would just be like, I would just tell everyone, well, listen, we could really use some money for our charity. No. I think that would be funny. No, you're not getting any. Yes, I have a lot. I have more than I'll ever spend.
Yeah.
I wipe my ass with it, but I'm not giving you any. I don't have a problem. I'm kind of a prick. You guys know that. I wouldn't have a problem not only telling people, but then using the word no.
I could see you being the guy who says, hey, contrary to the old adage, I am going to take it with me.
Yes.
I'm going to be buried next to a much larger vault with all my cash.
You're going to eat it.
That's exactly right.
I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't want to give away a bunch of it. I think you'd have to just for a tax shelter or something like that. But I don't know.
It's just there's nothing good can possibly ever come from anyone knowing you have that money.
I mean, you have to tell your family.
You got to come up with a cover story.
Yeah.
Tell them an investment you forgot you made somehow. It was a tech startup.
Okay.
I drunkenly wrote a guy a check for $5,000 and now it's worth $85 million. Whatever. Come up with another story.
Well, they still know that you're worth $85 million.
That's fine. Yeah. But there's something about being a lottery winner. It's just the universe puts a target on your back.
They feel like you owe them. Like, well, come on, it's just free money. It's house money. You won it. Why wouldn't you just share it with me, your deadbeat brother, or something like that? Yeah.
I am the one who walked into the gas station. I'm the one who took 8 quarters to the counter. I bought the ticket. You take a hike. I worked for this money.
Yeah, maybe that guy in Italy should have just bought a lottery ticket.
See, it's you know what? I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was at one point thinking, all right, I'm either going to win the lottery or I'm going to put about a quart of unleaded right up my 6. All right, screw it. I'm going with the gas thing. I'm doing the gas thing, guys. I've made my decision.
Yep.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, Thursday, May the 16th. Good morning. Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, do or die, win or go home.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said yesterday or the day before that you thought 7 for sure, but this morning?
I thought 7 for sure, and I woke up this morning and without thinking about it at all, the old central nervous system, my basketball spider sense tells me it's a bridge too far. The Nuggets are just on such a tear right now, and they also know, yes, they'd be favored at home in a Game 7, but why give the Timberwolves an extra chance? I mean, the Wolves are scary, young, athletic, all those things. Yeah. The Nuggets have sorted them out. But a 7-game series, when you go to Game 7, it's like history will tell you all bets are off. Champions, great teams, they put you down as soon as they get a chance to. And the Nuggets are trying to be a great team. There's more to it than just win. I do believe there's an entire thing of, and it's the coaching staff's talking about it, they're aware of it. It's like, yeah, we can probably come home and win Game 7, but let's take a couple extra days off. Let's put these punks out of misery on their own court.
Yeah.
That's the boss move. The Nuggets will be very, very focused tonight. I would love to see Minnesota win, but I just got up and I wasn't even thinking about it in a linear. I just went, so the game tonight, it's not going to happen. Yeah. It just like a blink, one of those blink things. Boom. I've been watching this game my whole life. I think I know way more than I do, like all of us. All fans of sports.
A fan's prerogative.
Yeah, we all think we know more than we do, but my gut was like, it's done. Yeah. And I would have said even yesterday, I was like, there's no way they're beating us 4 straight times, but I think they're going to beat us 4 straight times.
All right. Well, I mean,
we'll
go
see.
Vikes.
Go Vikings. The schedule is out. The schedule for the Vikings has been released. They go to London to play the Jets. They have a gauntlet. The first 5 weeks of the season, their easiest game by far, week 1 at the New York Giants. That's good. Then you host the Niners. Yeah. Then you host the Texans, who are very much ascendant. And then you play the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau, and then you go to England to play the Jets. So
for the 8:30 a.m. kickoff, Minnesota time.
And by the way, lose a home game because you're the home team in London that week. If they start the season 2-3, I will consider that a good start based on that schedule.
Yeah.
And the quarterback situation.
All things considered.
Once upon a time was considered a pretty live gun.
Very promising.
Never showed up in the NFL, but maybe under O'Connell, and you get that running game going, and the defense gets a little stouter. Perhaps they can hang in there, but I don't think anyone's expecting.
No,
I mean, I think what the fans are expecting, what I'm hearing is, can we get J.J. McCarthy ready to go for the second half of the season? Probably not. He's got a lot of development to do, but you never know. I mean, this kid has a lot of leadership qualities, and we'll see.
We shall see. For everybody who loves to talk about J.J. McCarthy, he's got, one thing you got to have to play a position. You got to be really smart, and he's really smart. Well, you know who else was really smart? The Pastronaut.
Yeah,
he was brainy.
He's summa cum laude smart, and he overthought that position with the best of them.
Oh, those were the days.
That was a golden moment.
There was a 2-week stretch there where it was all in front of us.
His jersey was selling. He was doing personal appearances. Yep. They had cartoon caricatures of him and an astronaut. God. The whole Pastronaut thing was.
He's good.
And then
and now at the stadium, Pastronaut caramel corn. He's got a kiosk set up. He's going to be great. So that's going to be a lot of fun. My rock and roll band Bagmen, playing the Turf Club in St. Paul, June 14th, and we would love to give some tickets away to that show. We've also, for a runner-up today, are going to give tickets to see the Epic Eagles, the Definitive Eagles tribute band. That's the Friday, May 31st at Treasure Island Event Center. We got tickets to give away. We got a game to play. Tony, please, what are we doing?
Yeah, something a little weird and different today.
The KQ Morning Show presents...
Quick.
Flicks. Clips.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller wisely said life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That's right.
So we present an opportunity to, we're going to listen to movie clips, and I speeded them up with time compression 50%.
Bastard.
Wow.
So you'll listen to the speedy clip. Hopefully you can identify the movie it's from and win valuable prizes. It's that easy. No, it's not easy. It's quick flicks. Clips. We'll see what happens.
Okay, say that fast 5 times. Quick flicks clips. Quick flicks clips. Quick flicks. Can't do it.
Shannon will be on the dump button if I try that one.
Quick flicks clips. Let's do it. All right, who is contestant number 1?
Number 1, going to rep with Lance from the lovely city of Woodbury.
Lance from Woodbury. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen.
You a movie fan?
I am a movie fan.
All right, good answer. Wish you the best of luck with this one. First time First time we've run this one up the flagpole. We'll find out. Maybe none of us will be after this one. You leave it to the diabolical Tony Lee and his imagination. Let's see what we got. Good luck, Lance.
All right, Lance. Somebody may win with a 1. Who knows? Okay, so listen carefully. Hopefully this is up loud enough. Now the clip is going to play really fast. See if you can decipher it and guess the movie that it's from. Here's your first one.
Fredo, you're my older brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You hear that again?
Really?
Fredo, you're my older brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
I'm getting some feedback, but I don't know. Godfather.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes.
How about that? Right off the bat, you're on the board.
Fredo, you're my brother. I love you. Don't ever take sides with any family again. That's great.
All right, I'll crank it up a little more.
That was all luck.
All right, here's number 2.
Stop thinking. Let things happen. And be the ball.
What? This is only 50% faster?
I need some pot to slow this down.
Sure it's not 500% faster? I'm gonna do Lance a solid. Let me hear that one again.
Yeah.
Stop thinking. Let things happen. And be the ball.
Did you say Peabody?
Let's go with American Graffiti.
Sorry, it is Stop Thinking and Be the Ball.
Stop thinking. Let things happen. And be the ball.
From Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. I thought it was that FedEx commercial from the 1980s.
Right. Absolutely positive.
What happened there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Come on, Lance.
I think I'm hearing the other guy's feedback, his radio.
What other guy?
Who's the other guy?
You got another guy there with you?
I don't know, but I'm getting feedback. All right. Let's roll.
All right.
Morning, Zip.
Morning.
Here's number 3.
Well, you buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
That is Rodney Dangerfield. It sounds like Caddyshack.
Attaboy.
Yes, Lance.
Wow.
There you go.
Free bowl of soup with hat.
Even Rodney still sounds like Rodney, even at double speed.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, the cadence.
Even at 10 times real speed.
Mm-hmm. All right, I got 7 of them for you. Here's number 4.
You had the talent to become a good fighter, and instead of that, you became a leg breaker. I'm cheap, second-rate loan shark. It's a waste of life.
Wow, that sounds like Abbott and Costello. I don't. Let's say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Women, weekend legs.
That is Burgess Meredith from Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Rocky. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we gotta hear that. I want to hear that one again. That was funny.
All right.
You had the talent to become a good fighter, and instead of that, you became a leg breaker. I'm cheap, second-rate loan shark. It's a waste of life.
It's a waste of life.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Sounded like he said, "I'll meet you in Zaragoza."
All right, next up.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Keep moving forward. Wow, this is tough. Let's go with The Godfather again.
All right, that's Rocky 6. That is Sly
Rocky 6.
giving advice.
Oh my God, 6 people saw that movie.
You're right. That's why they call it Rocky 6.
I liked it. All right, here's 2 more.
I liked it.
I don't know how to put this, so it's kind of a big deal.
I'll play it again for you.
I don't know how to put this, so it's kind of a big deal.
Holy cow, that's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Airplane.
Sorry. Anchorman, kind of a big deal.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, feel for it. Yeah.
I love Lance just throwing them out there, though. Yeah. Airplane.
Yeah, Cuckoo's Nest. Xanadu. All right, here's your last one.
It's called Sex Panther. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
Picking out anything there? I'll play it again.
It's called Sex Panther. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
Police Story.
Story.
No idea.
That is also from
I got one,
Anchorman.
right?
It's Paul Rudd talking about Sex Panther.
Oh, yeah,
alone.
the old Sex Panther.
Yeah.
60%
It's called
of
Sex
the
Panther. It's illegal in
time.
9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
That's exactly right. Lance, you went 2 for 7, but honest to God, I'm impressed. This is the toughest game we've ever had.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
maybe.
tough. Either way, I'm coming to see the Bagman.
Oh, bless your heart there, brother.
Very nice. Okay.
All right, well,
Go put out a fire.
2 for 7, like we said. I'm impressed. Sit
Yeah.
tight, Lance. We're going to get to caller number 2. Who we got, Tony?
Joe from Sauk Rapids. See if you can get more than 2. I thought 2 was probably
Did you say
gonna
Joe
be.
or Jill?
Joe. Joey from Sauk Rapids.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Joe. How are you this morning?
Joe, how's it going? Do you want to play it again?
Is Joe still with us?
Shannon, baby, what happened to Big Joe?
Shannon's giving me hand signals. No, wait, she's...
Looks like we lost a caller.
Oh, no, she was just picking her nose. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did we lose the caller?
We lost the caller.
Oh.
We need another caller. 651-989-ROCK. What are you waiting for? Dial the phone really fast. 651-989-ROCK.
651-989-ROCK. Jump in here to see if you can beat Lance's 2 out of 7.
Yeah.
Boy, this is, I mean, like I said, you spring Tony, let him loose in the lab for a minute, and he comes back. This is
a mad scientist. They did.
Yeah.
They did. They hung out. They were like, F this,
Shoot,
man.
a little experiment. Well, they live and they die.
I love it. I
Sometimes.
think it's fantastic.
We'll see.
Here we go. We got somebody on the horn. Shannon's doing that voodoo that she do. Oh, yeah, now they're all lighting up.
Okay.
Nice.
Like a Christmas tree.
Oh, great. Okay. Big bang.
Yeah, we're going to be good. She's just hammering out the details right now.
Man, this is how do you even come up with this?
I need to take
I don't know.
Take like a Quaalude and slow things down.
Yes, I do.
I wonder next time we should try it like slow down 50%.
Okay.
I don't know. Why am I giving you? I like it. I love it. I think it's funny.
Food for thought. Why not? It's good to mix it up.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. You got to work
challenge
for it.
our brilliant
These are
listeners.
Bagman tickets. When you're going top tier, when you're going for the big tickets, I just looked on the secondary market, on the ticket broker sites, Bagman, the 14th of June at the Turf Club.
Yeah.
Those suckers are going for $1,500 a piece.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a minute. I got to get in on that. If that's true, then I got to make a few phone
hot
calls.
ticket, baby.
Stevie wants a piece.
I got to make a few phone calls here.
Yeah, all right. Shannon's giving us the thumbs up. We have thumbs up.
Have we got a name? Have we got a caller?
We'll do this ourselves.
We have Jim from Coon Rapids.
Thank you, Shannon. Jim from Coon Rapids. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
We're doing well. Thanks for calling in late in the game. You came in like SWAT to save the day. So good luck to you, sir. Do you know what we're doing here?
Yes.
He says yes.
So I'm going to play the movie clip. It's going to play really quick. Listen closely and try and guess the movie that the clip is from. Got 7 of them for you. You ready to play?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here's your first clip.
I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Star Wars.
Sorry, that is... I tell you, I'm going to have to kill you. That's from Top Gun.
I think Yoda did say that too. Yeah, that was a tough one.
They're all everyone is. That's a tough one.
To tell means to kill.
All right, here's number 2. Listen closely.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Try one more time.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh, I got that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I'm thinking Rocky 2.
Oh, sorry. That is from Tombstone. Val Kilmer saying, I'm your Huckleberry.
But I like you sticking with the theme of all the Rockies in round 1. All right, Jim, here we go. Number 3.
Here's the Franco beans. Here's the Franco beans.
Yeah, First Blood.
First Blood.
He's just throwing darts right now.
There's something about Mary.
Yeah, there's something about
Frankenbeans. I thought I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Number 4.
Oh, come on, guys. Hey, it's all ball bearings nowadays.
You should get that one.
Come on.
One more time.
Oh, come on, guys. Hey, it's all ball bearings nowadays.
Caddyshack.
Ooh, close. I mean, same guy. If I mentioned Fetzer valve, would that help?
Oh, no.
That is from Fletch.
Fletch. It's all ball bearings these days.
Yeah, okay. Next up.
They're not going to catch us. We're on a mission from God. They're not going to catch us. We're on a mission from God.
What do you think?
Did Jim bail?
Any guess?
No, Jim's with us.
Take a shot.
Did Jim mute his own phone?
Yeah, I don't hear his car anymore. He's sounds like he's gone.
Right, yeah, the lines are still on it.
Yeah,
Jim's in a tunnel.
Shannon's not gesturing at me.
All right, well,
there's an eerie calm in Studio A.
I guess we're just going to have to make it.
Declare a winner.
Did Lance win?
We're going to have to make a ruling. Oh, there's Jim.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Wow, hanging on by a thread.
We were worried sick. What happened to you, young man?
He whipped his phone across the 3 lanes of traffic.
I'll give you a shot at that last clip.
They're not going to catch us. We're on a mission from God.
Oh, that's play Caddyshack.
Oh, the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from
God.
Mission from God.
All right, we're back up and running. 2 more, Jim.
Almost done.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
One more time.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Try it one more time, please.
Get busy living or get busy dying. Get busy living or get busy dying.
That's Christmas Vacation, too.
Oh, God, this is funny.
So close.
Shawshank Redemption. That is.
I would watch Shawshank Redemption again at at double speed.
Yes.
I think maybe I could.
It was Morgan Freeman.
Enjoy it.
All right.
That day on the roof, we felt like regular men.
My God.
Here's your last clip. He's not going to get this one.
I could have ruled that world. I don't need any of those things here. I'm just a dude. And you know what? That's enough.
One more, Tony. That was Caddyshack.
No. Sorry, that was from Barbie.
Barbie.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Well, that's why you didn't get it.
I didn't see that one. Jim, you know what, man? You saved the day by coming in late. Thank you for your competition, for your competitive spirit. You, as the runner-up, will go see. You have tickets for the Epic Eagles Definitive Eagles Tribute. That's Friday, May 31st at Treasure Island. Lance, brother, you are the winner. You're going to come and hang out with us at the Bagmen Turf Club June 14th. Well played, sir. Both of you guys, sterling efforts. Thank you very much. Tony, you sick bastard.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Does this have legs?
Man, we might have to go the other way next time, like Zeb suggested. Go slow it down.
Yeah. Either that or maybe more of it. Some of those were so quick. I'm like, I'm just about half. But I don't know. That was made me laugh.
It's a delicate balance.
How about this? Next time we do presidential inauguration speeches.
Perfect.
And then you just do it because then you can get like a 30-second double time clip, and then you figure out which president that was.
Great speeches from congressmen, I think.
That's Millard Fillmore. I know Fillmore.
Although I have a friend, Dylan, you know how on YouTube you can speed things up and watch it back? You can play it up to like 10 times faster. He'll do that with movies. He's like, no, I can whip through like 2 or 3 movies in a night. I'm like, oh, I think you're okay.
Oh, weird.
It's not homework, dude.
We'll just read the script then.
Something,
you're missing a lot of
the nuances.
Yeah, but he's the guy also if you're watching a movie, and I haven't watched a movie with Dylan in years, but he's the guy that's watching the movie, and he's like, well, this is the boring part. We'll just skip through this. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it has something to do with the story.
Right.
It's just 2 people talking.
Yeah, no boobs.
All right. That's when you see somebody pull out a gun, stop it.
I like how the guys are just throwing out random movie references.
That was great. Gotta try.
Yeah,
the Deer Hunter.
You know what? I'm convinced Lance's first guess, Godfather, because he was so genuine in his response. He goes, "Oh, I just guessed."
Yeah.
And so from there on, it's like, well, it's you got to pull the trigger.
All right, but it was fun. It was a good thing.
I thought it was.
It's what it's all about.
It's entertaining to us. They're cussing right now at their radios, but we thought it was fun.
I did that. That's the worst I've ever done at one of your games by far. Even when I thought I knew, it was the least confident I've ever been. A lot of movie lines that we grew up at an age. Starting with Animal House, and then for the next, that's when it started for me anyway. But for a lot of people, that's when all of a sudden you just incorporate the lingo into your life, your daily life. Everybody I knew had 30 lines from Animal House, from Caddyshack, from Stripes.
Right.
There was just this golden age where this whole generation just decided we'll just talk like we're in the movies.
Right.
And more than a few times, we actually got them wrong. I'm going to share a couple 3, 5, 26 movie lines. You're wrong about. Trust me when I say it's worth your time. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Thursday, May the 16th. We just played a game. We gave away some tickets to a show. We had fun. Tony just tortured a couple of listeners.
I did.
With a great game. It was called Quick Flicks Picks. Was that right?
Clips. Quick Clips.
I can't even say the name right.
Quick Clips.
So I couldn't keep it straight. But I enjoyed it. Movie lines. And I mentioned a minute ago, we all grow up certain movies hit the zeitgeist, if you will, and we remember so many lines from the movies, and that becomes part of not just our personal life, but the cultural lexicon. We say things, we incorporate them. Go all the way back to some of the earliest movies ever. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937. How many times have you heard someone say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all"?
Every day I look in the mirror, I say it.
The line is actually not "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all." The line from the movie is "Magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all."
Who knew?
There is no God.
Yeah, well, come on. How about this? How many times do you hear people say, "Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn"? It's "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." But, we just run out of the theater and we start working it up. The most famous misquoted line of all time, in my opinion, "Play it again, Sam," from Casablanca.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
Play it again, Sam.
It's not "Play it again, Sam."
Never says it. Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by. That's the actual line from the film.
I like the wrong.
No one ever says "Play it again, Sam."
"Play it again, Sam's" much better.
It's way better.
Great Woody Allen movie.
Casablanca? Yeah, one of the best.
No, play it again.
Yeah, I was kidding.
Yo, Steve.
Oh, boy.
You minx.
Badges. We don't need no stinking badges from the treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Nope.
No, that's not the line.
It's actually badgers.
Badgers. We don't need... No, it's badges. We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges. How has that gone to we don't need no stinking badges?
That's just paraphrasing.
Makes me mental. If you're going to quote a movie, you got to get it right.
Yeah,
it really annoys me.
Really?
Yeah, if you get it wrong, it annoys me. It makes me bristle.
Do you unfriend them on Facebook?
I make a closed fist and start swinging.
Yeah.
How about from Hondo? A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Old Hondo.
No, the line was, "A man ought to do what he thinks is best." Now that's come on, how do you? That's not even.
I'm gonna have to call Dad on that one. Hondo. What year did that come out?
Hondo. That would be 1953. Okay, The Graduate. Surely you've seen The Graduate. Dustin Hoffman.
Wonderful.
No?
No. I'm going to watch it.
You've never seen The Graduate?
No, I haven't got around
it's
to it.
great.
Mrs. Robinson, are you trying to seduce me? That's the line of the movie, except he says, "Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you?" Some of the, I'll be honest, I'm like, I'm aghast at how off I was. I saw this movie once as a kid. It scarred me. Oliver, the movie Oliver.
Wait,
from Oliver
did he
Twist.
sleep with her?
Why did it scar you?
Because just, the orphan thing, the kids, the poor kids. But I have said many times, I will, to this day, I'll go, "Please, sir, could I have some more?" As I'm holding up a bowl, hoping for some more gruel.
Yeah.
And the line is actually, "Please, sir, I want some more."
Wow.
See, I've fallen victim to this. I'm one of the people propagating the wrong lines out there in society.
So he didn't ask politely. He just demanded like a little brat.
He's an orphan. He's not demanding anything.
Give him a spank and put him to bed.
He's got a little dirty nose, don't he? Oh, he's got dirt in his nose.
He's the Dickens.
How about this? Do you feel lucky, punk?
Yeah, well, do ya?
Yeah, no, that's not the line. The line is, you've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Right.
That's the actual line.
There it is.
Dirty Harry, one of the first, watch that as on TV, maybe a 9-year-old, 10 at most. But I was young enough where, for whatever reason, my dad made the executive decision that he'd watch that with me in the room.
Time to grow up.
And I wasn't free. The violent stuff was one thing, but like that main guy, what's his name?
The Psycho.
The Psycho.
Creepy, yeah.
That was hard. Really difficult going to sleep that night.
My dad took me to that movie when I was 11.
Cool.
In the theater.
Yes.
Dirty Harry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not kids play.
No, it was a double feature with Omega Man, Charlton Heston.
Oh, nice.
Also violent.
Yes.
A little slow,
Schools
though.
and corpses.
Yeah, but I loved it. Yeah. Dad took me to First Blood at 12. That was the first movie. Yeah. It's the only movie my dad and I ever saw, but...
I saw 2 movies. I've seen, 3 movies with my dad. 3. Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Needs no explanation. I saw it and then came home and talked about how funny it was. And my dad said, "Oh, I've heard that's great. Let's go." And the next night we went to see, I saw it 2 nights in a row. The second time with my parents. Dad, big Jackie Gleason guy.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen my father laugh like that in my life. He laughed every moment Jackie Gleason was on screen. He was beside himself.
That's great.
And I was like, this is great because I don't think that guy's that funny. I'm all about the snowman and the bandit and Sally Field and what.
Yeah.
And then so that was, I was probably in 6th grade, maybe. And then in 9th grade, I saw 2 movies with my dad. 2 of the worst experiences of my life. The first was Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Nowhere
gosh.
near emotionally equipped to handle that movie at 14 years old. By the time that movie ended, I was literally brain dead. I was numb.
It's exhausting.
I was so overwhelmed. I couldn't process. About midway through, I started I'm not even sure what's happening anymore. It just overwhelmed me.
Yeah.
We drove home and I was like nauseous. It really was upsetting. I was just like, in my mind, war is you go beat the Nazis and everyone high fives. And I was like, this is not what war is supposed to be. It really freaked me out.
Yeah, we toked up and went to see that movie. That enhanced the experience.
I think I saw it on HBO or something. I thought it was a little slow because I was a teenager. I was like, this isn't a good war movie. John Wayne's not even in it.
Saw it at the Dollar Theater a few years later in college. Different experience. And there was a guy there, a friend of my brother's, was watching the film Trippin' Balls on LSD. And at one moment, he was screaming for a medic in the theater.
That's the way to watch it.
That was kind of tough.
My gosh.
The other movie I saw with both my parents, the same year as Apocalypse Now, they took me for whatever reason on a Friday afternoon. I'm in 9th grade. Hey, we're going to see a movie. You want to come with us? It was 10 with Bo Derek and Dudley Moore.
That's a little squirmy.
I sat in a movie theater with my parents, my very Catholic parents, watching orgy scenes.
Yeah. Did your dad
full frontal nudity, which, by the way, I'd never seen that much nudity, like even on cable, on HBO, on a TV.
Did your parents start making out?
They did not. To see it on a giant picture screen projector, I've never been more uncomfortable in my life.
That would do it.
I got to play Bolero.
What did they think they were going to see? I mean, it's a Blake Edwards movie, first of all. There's nothing, nowhere, the movie poster, nothing they would have come across. Even the name of it doesn't suggest anything that you'd want your kid to see or you'd want to watch with your kid.
Man, they were laughing and they enjoyed it. They I guess they thought, who knows? All I know is I believe I stopped counting trips to the bathroom at 7. I got to take a dip in the pool. Jaws, we're going to need a bigger boat is not the line. The line is you're going to need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Wow, because he's got a cigarette hanging in his mouth when he says it. But it's actually you're going to need a bigger boat. There you have it. Darth Vader never says, Luke, I am your father.
Nope.
He says, no, I am your father.
All right. Okay. Yeah,
And then finally, if you build it, they will come. The line is, if you build it, he will come. That is, of course, from Field of Dreams, a movie that made me cry, even though I had no idea what the hell was happening. The more you think about it, it's just confusing as all get out.
Yeah, I thought I was mixed on that movie till the very end when his dad came out and they started playing catch, and that choked me up. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Do you want to have a catch?
I haven't watched it twice. I can tell you that.
I watched that whole movie in the theater with 2 other friends of mine. 3 guys. We're watching Field of Dreams, and we're enjoying it. I mean, there's plenty of funny moments. It's good scenes. I'm just confused as all get out, and then literally just that line, "Dad, do you want to have a catch?" And me, Mac, Andrew, 3 guys. I'm not even sure what. I'm just crying all of a sudden. And I went home from the theater. I called my brother Jim in Baltimore. And I was like, "Have you seen Field of Dreams?" He's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I never forget. He goes, "Are you high? What are you on?" I'm like, "Nothing. I just saw it. It made me kind of sad." It's like, dude, get a life. I'm like, my bad. I thought I'd share a moment with my brother. I'm talking about Dad.
I wasn't having the moment, I guess.
It's kind of a nice one. Those same 3 guys. Man, movies used to be. It's funny. My kids both like movies now, but they didn't grow up going to movies like it was a big deal. It just wasn't for their generation. I mean, as little kids it was, but by the time my kids were in high school, it just wasn't the same. The cultural cachet of a movie that everyone's talking about, they've missed out on that. They enjoy them in their own time, but the idea of going to the theater. So I saw Field of Dreams with the same 2 buddies that right around the same time we saw Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
That was
be ignored or whatever.
Full on scarring. I mean, like that movie. We were talking about it because it was on once with my kids, and they're like, "This was a freaky movie." I'm like, "You have no idea what this was like on the cover of Time magazine." Like that was one of those movies that shook people to their core from every side of the equation. You know, for no matter whose side you were on, or there was no one who was right. It was a cultural. It was an explosion. I mean, it just doesn't happen like that anymore.
I went for a whole year without cheating on my wife.
A whole year?
So freaked out.
How did you do that?
I was just freaked out. We had a rabbit. I was worried for the rabbit, and but no, that was a freaky movie. But yeah, you're right, because when movies came out, they were common, right? We had that choice. Yet there were those few movies that everyone saw, and we revolved around them. Now I don't even think sometimes about if I had to narrow down, like last year we had Barbenheimer or whatever, there was the couple of movies that dominated the year. I think it was Maverick the year before. So you still have your blockbusters out there, but we don't seem to culturally revolve around them like we used to.
No, you get like one or two a year. You know what I mean? And then if you go back and Google like any year from when we were younger, like I just put in 1989, Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Lethal Weapon 2, Rain Man, Ghostbusters 2, Dead Poet Society, Parenthood, When Harry Met Sally, Field of Dreams, Sea of Love. All these movies are in the same year. And I remember having conversations like over drinks about every one of those movies.
Well, we had a window, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
And when the window closed, when it was out of the movie theaters, then it was sometimes up to a year, at least 6 months before it would come out on VHS.
Oh, at least.
And then you had to hustle your Heine down to Blockbuster. Of course it's rented out. The 12 copies got rented out before I got down here today. So you go back the next day. So there was an urgency if you wanted to be in the conversation. Now they're out. Sometimes movies are out for maybe a month before you can pay the $20. To watch it at home.
I tell you what,
sometimes it's only a couple of weeks.
If they're out for a month, that's big these days.
Before you can stream it and pay the added. I'll usually wait till it drops down to the $6 or whatever, and that's only usually a couple of months.
And then the discussion is on to something else instantly.
Yeah. Well, and they're so fast and furious because competing with going to the movies that make it onto the big screen in the theaters are 15 other movies that came out that week on streaming that are pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of content.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for kicking your shoes off and putting your feet up on your own table and watching a movie.
The home stereo systems are more affordable, and before it was like, oh my God, did you hear someone? You'd go to someone's place because they had that sound system. Now you get a sound bar and get yourself a 65-inch high-definition television. You have a home theater.
Think about how far removed we are from drive-ins being something we used to do.
Well, now it's a novelty. They have the one out there in Woodbury, and there's a couple of them I still think operating around town. And I used to take the girls out to them as a novelty. We'd get pizzas.
Oh,
of course,
fun,
I had the pickup. We'd park in the back and load. I had the lawn chairs, and they had two huge beanbag chairs. We'd bring the beanbag chairs, and of course, you could tune to your radio. You didn't have the squawk box, so the sound was a little bit better. But it was. It was an event. It wasn't the best way to watch the movie. The best way to watch it was
just
at
a
home.
fun thing to do.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to do.
Double feature, The Heartbreak Kid.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
With Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh, yeah.
At a drive-thru, 1974.
That's an odd combo, but both great.
Odd combo, but great. Great night in my brother's van watching those two movies.
The drive-in in Huron, South Dakota was the place where the kids would get together. And, we snuck people in the trunk. We did all the old stereotypical things that you did at the drive-in movie theater. And I remember before I went off to basic training, my brother said to me, hey, man, I'm going to miss you. I want to go watch. Let's go to the drive-in together tonight and just watch it. They had a Dusk Till Dawn, 4 movies, and all horror movies. So we went and watched it, and it was just an incredibly great moment between my brother and I. And I realized as we were driving out, after having attended that drive-in, I don't know how many times over 4 years, that was the first time I'd watched any movies. Because all we did was crack beers and try and make out, and that kind of stuff. And you'd catch a little bit of a movie here and there, but it was a social scene. But the good old drive-ins. Maybe this year. Maybe this summer.
Anything you say, Butch.
Remember moving to Kentucky, 1975, to a small town, and we stayed the first week in town. We were at a Holiday Inn, and right next door was the drive-in theater that closed pretty shortly thereafter. It wasn't open very long. And two of my brothers and I walked out, and they were playing a movie called The Happy Hooker.
Oh, right. Yes.
The Happy
Based
Hooker.
on the book.
Yeah. And we just walked in there. We just walked over to the parking lot. Didn't have a car. We're right next door. And we just watched without sound probably 20 minutes of a movie called The Happy Hooker, and they kept thinking the whole time, like, we're probably going to get arrested. We're in a foreign country. It's called Kentucky, and we're watching soft porn on a drive-thru. I was freaking out.
That was the first time I ever saw a naked woman's rear end. Before we moved to South Dakota, when I was 5 years old, my earliest memory was we lived in a trailer park in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and at the end of the trailer park was a drive-in movie theater. And if you stood up on your tiptoes on my bed and stacked up all the pillows, I could see the screen. And it was a Dirty Harry movie where all the strippers were in that red nightclub, red strip club scene, and we could see their heinies. And Mom would call it a heiny, so we called them heiny girls.
Heiny
and I
girls.
remember giggling the next day, and Mom's like, "What are you guys giggling about?" We saw heiny girls.
Major League Yabos.
Yeah,
That's it.
Mom had a blind on there that we could not unlock in a heartbeat.
On the KQ Talk text line, this text just came in. My mom and dad took me to see the movie Tommy. Tina Turner as the Acid Queen freaked me out, and then I vomited when Sally Simpson was smashed at the revival and all the blood came out.
Oh man, Tommy, not Tommy Boy, Tommy.
Tommy, no, the real Tommy right there. The schedule for the fall that matters. The Minnesota Vikings 2024 schedule is out, and it is about. And we'll discuss a few of the key matchups. We'll be right back. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning, Thursday, May the 16th. We were just discussing on the show various elements. We're talking a lot about movies today. Just sort of wrapped our way around a few different themes. And talk and text line, KQ talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. I got a text from Anthony. It's just cracked me up. He said, I saw a preview for Ted, and I thought, this is cute. A talking teddy bear. My kids will love this. They were 7 and 9.
Woo!
That's good stuff.
I mean, you probably didn't make it more than 15 minutes into that movie.
No, not even 15 seconds. 7 and 9.
It's bad enough when you do it at home and you go, well, you know what? We're going to watch something else. I'm going to go ahead and put the kibosh on this one. But when you go to the theater, then there's the whole getting up. And I'm sure there's some people thinking, did that guy bring his kids to the...
Oh, sure.
What's the guy's name? A Family Guy? Seth
MacFarlane.
Thank you. You just bring your family to a Seth MacFarlane
The
movie?
worst part about traumatizing your children isn't traumatizing your children. It's being seen traumatizing your children. That's the worst part.
I know. I always like to watch horror movies, our kids, and Taylor was really quite young when The Ring came out, and my buddy saw it at the movie theaters. I said, is there nudity in it? Because a lot of horror movies have the nudity.
Yeah.
And he said, no, in fact, it's kind of lame. I didn't even think it was that scary. I'm like, great. So I rent the movie, take it home. We did end up watching it, but Taylor was so terrified, still had landlines at that time, that every time the phone would ring, she would scream and run to her bedroom. And boy, did I get some looks from Mom. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. That was my bad. Too early, too soon. Shouldn't have done it.
Oof.
Yeah, but yeah, we sat through that one. But I watched a musical called Chicago. My girls loved musicals. I'm like, all right, I'll sit through a musical at Chicago. Had the big stars in it. And pretty soon they're talking about blowing away their husband with a shotgun. And I was like, all right, let's, we're going to.
But they did it to music, so it's okay.
It was kind of festive.
Yeah, but it's that Catherine Zeta-Jones and that cute Renee Zellweger. I mean, what's the problem?
They shut her down.
Took the kids to see, after someone recommended it, the movie Life of Pi. They were like 9 and 11.
Oh, no.
And there's a ship full of animals that sinks.
Like Jungle Book, right?
It's disturbing.
Oh, my God. My daughter was just like, she just put her head in my shoulder and was like, I'm not looking at this again. She's like, Dad, basically her body language was, okay, you go ahead. I'm shutting down. I'm flipping off all switches in my central nervous system. I'm just going to sit here and pretend I'm anywhere but here till this movie ends. It was awful.
And then I think back to the Glee. My father couldn't wait for us to watch Old Yeller. Oh, you boys haven't seen Old Yeller? Oh, yeah. It's a Disney movie. It's on the Disney Channel. You got to watch Old Yeller. We're like, oh, it's a boy, it's a dog picture. You're going to love it. and he just sat there to watch us cry at the end.
It's a life lesson, mister.
Yeah, he went through it, and you're going to go through it, but he was rather giddy about it.
Did he rewind it over and over?
Yeah.
It's going. I think about Old Yeller, and I go back to I saw it on TV as a kid, same kind of thing, and you're just like, wait, what?
I make him shoot his own dog?
It's a damn snuff film by the end of it. I'm like, what am I watching here?
Missing Born Free for the first
Born
time.
Free, sure.
Ball your eyes out.
Which one was that?
And then that harkens back to the days. Just another random thought, but remember, you'd watch a movie, or you'd stay up late with your friends, you come over Friday night sleepover, and then at some point, the TV stations would all just go off the air.
Yep.
You'd be sitting in front of the console TV, and then there'd be a flag, and the Star Spangled Banner would play, and then just
the test pattern.
Yeah. When's the last time that actually happened?
Yeah.
That's going back a ways.
Yeah, we'd have sleepovers and watch Horror Incorporated.
Oh,
and
really?
then you'd wake up in the middle of the night, the test pattern.
We had Creature Feature. That was
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Friday night horror film.
Didn't have that in South Dakota, I guess.
No.
We had Space 1999 was on Friday night. Dad would let us stay up late to watch that.
Space 1999.
Oh, just a super bad knockoff of Star Trek.
Yeah.
In fact, remember my brother and I, we got much older, in our 30s probably, and cable television, there's the Sci-Fi Channel, and my brother calls me up, he goes, they're rerunning Space 1999.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
After one episode, he calls me back, he goes, wow, this really sucks. I was like, we had no idea. We were like 12. We didn't know. I mean, it was like tinfoil monsters that are crawling at about 1 foot per hour, and they couldn't get away from them. I'm like, this is garbage.
Yeah, sure it is. Made on literal shoestring budgets, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Those old TV shows.
We could have done that in our garage.
And then you get on, my brain just immediately, I just jumped to the test pattern on TV, those cheap production on shows. I saw a clip from Wonder Woman on an Instagram reel where she chases a car down on a skateboard.
Oh, God.
The original Linda Carter Wonder Woman.
Trying to get the kids involved.
Put her on a skateboard. The silly. I mean, you know how when Wonder Woman had to make a move and like change costume, she would spin in place and then it would go. All that changed was she saw a skateboard, she held it in her hand, and she was about to chase a car on a skateboard, and she spun in place, and when it went, and she was wearing a helmet. That was the difference in her costume. It wasn't like a shield or a sword. It was just a skateboard helmet.
Just as long as she had that top on, that's all I cared about at that age.
Of course she had the top on.
Linda Carter, hello.
Yeah. Back in the days when a long road trip in the family, you would play poker, license plate poker.
Oh, yeah. We played the alphabet game.
The alphabet game, too?
Yeah. That one. That was billboards. So you had to get from A to Z just using letters from the billboard. So it was when you got to Q, that was a tough one. You're waiting for a Dairy Queen sign.
You're waiting
we played the alphabet game.
Our alphabet game was as follows. You'd say, Johnny went on a trip. And on his trip, in his trunk, he put A and something with an A. An alligator. And the next person would say an alligator and a boxcar.
Yeah, you'd add
an alligator,
to
a boxcar, and a carrot.
Yep.
And you had to go down the alphabet that way.
One too, yeah.
And we would burn through that for just hundreds of miles. Just desperate to get out of that car. Yeah. The only good part of those trips for us was in the big station wagon. In the rear facing seat in the station wagon.
Oh, the coolest spot.
You know, the big ass, the old school.
It's your fort. It's your fort within
everything.
the car. Yeah.
I remember going to see a Colts game with my friends, the Connors, took us to see the Baltimore Colts game, and we were in the back of their station wagon. It's all Colts fans, you know, like getting ready to be at the stadium downtown Baltimore, and we're facing back out, me and Butchie Connor. What a great name. Butchie Connor.
Yeah.
I always picture him with a black eye, although he never had one. But his name was Butchie. He was a little tough guy. But we were in the back of their station wagon facing back, and it's just one of those things, like it's just so drilled in my head. We're approaching Memorial Stadium, and on the radio, Closer to Home by Grand Funk Railroad is playing. Oh. And we're so young, we can stand in the back of this station wagon.
Oh my
we're so
gosh.
small. I'm hunched over, but he's kind of standing there, and we're playing like air guitar, and we're rocking Grand Funk Railroad on the way to a Colt. That was like one of those you just don't get that anymore growing up in the 70s. And one of the things it said we used to do, and of course I thought of you, piling all your friends into your car.
Absolutely.
I will never tire of the Tony Lee getting his driver's license on the very day being arrested for was it speeding
and having 12
with
people
12
in the car.
people in the car.
Right?
Probably, how many seatbelts do you think were buckled in that car?
There'd be none over the Ford Bridge, and of course there was a copper.
Absolutely.
My dad used to take the seatbelts out of the cars. They're just in the way. They're constantly. Yeah, he would. He would just, get the old wrench out. What's your dad doing? He'd take the seats out to take the seatbelts because they're like bolted to the floor or something back then. He's like, there, get those silly things out of there.
Another thing that was happening back in the day, 60s and 70s for us, was the Rolling Stones would regularly be on the road. And as much as things change, sometimes things don't change at all because the Rolling Stones are still touring all these years later. It is 2024, and they are back on the road for the Hackney Diamonds Tour. They will, of course, be playing their most iconic hits, fan favorite deep cuts, music from their new album, Hackney Diamonds. We want to send you to see the Rolling Stinkin' Stones.
Hot damn.
One winner will score a trip for two to Vancouver, which is a beautiful city.
You glanced at me when you said that. I thought the station was sending me to... No, not me?
No.
Son of a...
Nope. Just wanted to make you think something great was about to happen for you. One winner will score a trip for two to Vancouver, including round-trip air, 2 nights in a hotel, and tickets to the show at the BC Palace on July 5th. Right now, text the national keyword DOWN. DOWN to 95819 to enter for a chance to win. Whew, baby.
That
the Rolling Stones in Vancouver.
In Hackney Diamonds, there was some talk that is this AI? It sounds so good. Mick Jagger's voice is so clear. He's roaring. I watched a YouTube video. I forget where they were at just a few days ago from the gig that they had the night before. No,
he sounds amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he's got one of those voices. He's a thin guy with a thinner voice. He's not one of the screamers, that have blown out their voice and had vocal cord surgery 4 or 5 times. But still, I'd put it up against anything you heard from the 1970s, and it actually might be stronger.
And still such a unicorn because you've got a bunch of the raspy-throated guys. You got a bunch of the belters. You got the screamers, like you said. Who sings like Mick Jagger? Nobody. Nope. It just sounds like there's no one that does that quite like that. Other big news from the day today. Yesterday we found out who the Vikings would be playing. Today we found out who and when and where they will be playing. The actual schedule has been released for all teams, but of course we're talking Vikings. Opener of the season at the Meadowlands, or whatever it's called now. I still think of the Meadowlands. At the New York Giants. Game 1, September the 8th. Then 2 straight games at home, the Niners and the Texans. Ooh, that's 2 really good teams. Yeah. Then they go to Lambeau Field, another team with an ascendant quarter. Second half of the season last year, Jordan Love looked like an all-pro.
Oh, he tore it up.
And let's not forget that defense, that young defense that got a little bit better probably with the draft. Yikes.
Now, nobody was betting the farm on the Cowboys, but remember the Packers, last we saw them, before they were eliminated barely by the Niners, they beat the living snot out of Dallas in Dallas.
Who was undefeated. I think it was averaging something obscene like 34 points a game at home, and were literally trouncing everyone.
And then week 5, like a break, a little blip on the horizon of sunlight. It's the New York Jets, although it's in London. First 5 weeks are a lot for this Vikings team.
8:30 a.m. kickoff. Can you imagine? You're going to have to start tailgating at like 6 a.m.
Sure.
You might just have to stay up all night for that one.
That you might have to play through. That might make the most sense. So Vikings schedule is out. Yeah. People are already getting whipped up and very excited about that. And I think we've got a little bit of Coach O'Connell's thoughts on the seasons up.
Yeah, talk about whipped up. Here's Coach O'Connell, very animated, very excited about those first few games of the season.
Yeah, didn't have much to say.
Here it is.
We played him in the third game.
A hell of a game. For $23, if you can get more excitement than that, hell, you're in the wrong operation. A hell of a game. And let me say something. As long as I'm in this job, Snelker will be the offensive coach. No question about that. I don't like to name names after a game. We can't be responsible for the blocking. We can't be responsible for the guys jumping offside. We can't be responsible for. We get down there and it was a dumb play by Anderson. I love Anderson, but it was a dumb play when his foot was shoe was coming off up the line screen. We were hollering take time out. We had a trap play called, and his shoe comes off. That ain't Bob Schnoker's fault. We haven't.
A lot of characters.
Wow,
really?
Coach Uncle Burnsy there. And boy, we have had some colorful animated coaches here in Minnesota, but Kevin O'Connell isn't one of them. We'll remember this guy.
We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
I was never quite sure what the point of that was. Who did you think they were? I've never really fully grasped that.
Yeah, and the Vikings fan before you hit the talk and text line. Yeah, of course he was with the Cardinals at that time, but Denny
he's Vikings.
Gave us a whole lot of, and now we have Coach O'Connell. He's a flat line and a hell of a coach. Here he is talking about those first few games of the season for 2024, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, going to New York in the opener, a team that only added to a pretty darn good defense, through free agency and the draft.
Yeah.
And then, no more electric environment last year than that Monday night game against the Niners. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to coming back and trying to get back at us for getting them last year. Houston Texans with what D'Amico Ryan's doing in year one to reach the playoffs and really solidify that team as an exciting team that's got a chance to
Oakley Dokley. Like we said, we could care less as long as they win those damn football games. He did get in some talk here about the Packers and then heading over to England.
Then we get a chance to go to Lambeau Field early on in the season before heading across the pond to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Yeah, you mentioned that game. What's the excitement level to return? I know you did this 2 years ago.
I think we did, yeah.
Burnsy at the end. Yeah, I think we did win that one. Anyway, that's Coach O'Connell. You like a steady presence on the sideline, and he's got his work cut out for him with these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Coach O'Connell.
On a personal note, I know where I'll be on. I know where I'll be on November 17th. I hadn't planned to be.
Oh.
I will be in Nashville watching the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings.
Are you going to be wearing your Vikings jersey?
Got to be there for that one. Yeah, I'll rock the purple and gold.
Attaboy.
I'll be
Represent.
Right there. Yeah, man. Screw it. I mean, like I said, look, as long as they're not playing Titans, I'm for the Vikings. But if it's in Nashville, I'll go. I'll go be that jerk.
All right.
Come on, man. I walked up there and was, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you, man? It'd be like that kind of thing. That'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
A quick hockey note. The town of Athens, Georgia, where the University of Georgia Bulldogs hail from, the University of Georgia Bulldogs, REM, the B-52s, a lot of things from Athens, Georgia. They now have a hockey team in a minor league, some East Coast minor league team they just announced, and there was a citywide vote, and the team is known as, officially, the Athens Rock Lobsters.
Oh,
the
I
Rock
love
Lobsters.
Come on.
Perfect for a minor league team. Come on, the Rock Lobsters.
Going to have a great logo. I'm sure it's like a lobster playing a guitar that's also a hockey stick, apparently.
Sure. I wonder if they're going to have any music, like to bring the team out originally. What would you go with? Something maybe from Bad Company? No, what would it be?
Yeah, what would be a good call?
It could be like a weird riff with a cowbell just clanging away in the background.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. Although, obviously, Love Shack.
That's it. That's the one. They'll want to do that, yeah. The members of the B-52s were elated and fully endorsed it and gave it their blessing. I just love the idea of Fred Schneider being at a game. That's a cross-check! I mean, just,
cross-check!
Yeah, they'll be rewriting all the lyrics. Hit him with your purse next time, sister! All the hockey taunts. Come on, man. There's nothing about this song that says ice hockey until this year. That's my new favorite sports team. The Athens Rock Lobsters, for God's sakes. That's great.
I might even get a T-shirt or a hat.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Joining the Savannah Bananas as a minor league team. Georgia gets it right with their minor league. Yeah. If you've never seen the Savannah Bananas minor league baseball team, the shtick they run, Google it. Trust me, there's no way to possibly describe what's going on down there in Savannah, in the Garden of Good and Evil, or whatever the hell that whole thing was back in the day. A lot still to get to if you're just joining us on the KQ Morning Show. We've got a sports and music history lesson coming up, as well as far as I know, the first ever 8-foot tall driver of a car in the United States. You heard me. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Thursday, May the 16th. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your mind, Bri?
I'm barbecue right now, to be honest with you. I got distracted. I stepped out into the main area here, and there's food everywhere.
What?
Do you ever go by Bri? Were you ever a Bri? I just called you Bri, and as soon as it came out, I was like, what the hell? Bri.
Bri guy, I prefer Bri guy. No, I suppose someone's probably called me Bri.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bri.
Tone? There's a lot of tones.
No,
Bri.
Tone. I like Tone.
Yeah,
that tone's good.
No one goes with Steve.
That
doesn't happen.
How about
Steve Areno. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Full on just strangers. Hey, Steve Areno. Like, yeah, wow, really? Wow, okay. We're going there. I would have preferred Mr. Gorman.
Yeah.
Dr. Gorman if you're nasty.
Yeah. No, when your last name is just one guttural Zep. You know, it's just that's it. Everybody goes for Zep.
Zep.
Yeah.
A gentleman in the state of Iowa was pulled over by a trooper the other day in Rock Rapids, Iowa. That's a cool sounding town.
Rock Rapids.
Where you live, Rock Rapids. Man, how have I never heard of Rock Rapids, Iowa? He was pulled over. A cop saw his 2016 Ford Focus swerving wildly. Gentleman's name is Joel Villeda. He's 5'8" tall. He handed his identification to the officer, who looked at the driver's license, and his listed height was 8 feet tall.
Did they get it backwards? Was it 8 feet 5 inches?
It just said 8 feet. It said straight up 8 feet tall. The cop realized that might not be a real ID.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, when you get the fake ID, you got to check all the details. It literally said 8 feet tall. He's 5'8", as I said, failed a sobriety test, flunked the breathalyzer test, had an open beer in the cup holder, a six-pack of Corona in the back seat, and a $1 bill with white powder that he said, that is meth.
Is there any laws he didn't break?
Well, he felt 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
I can promise you that.
You know, it reminds me, my daughter, she's home from college, I think a sophomore at the time, and I said something about her fake ID.
Yeah.
She said, Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you're a sophomore in college, especially at Mankato.
Yeah.
Minnesota State.
Yeah.
I know you have a fake ID. I'm like, serious, I want to see your fake ID. She's like, Dad, I don't have a fake ID. I'm like, let me see your fake ID. So finally she pulls out a fake ID, and it turns out she's a student at the University of Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And I said, you're University of Cincinnati. I'm the bouncer. Who's your mascot? I don't know. I'm like, you don't know the university? Yeah. You don't know your own team's mascot? She goes, I don't know. Bearcats, right? Isn't that the Bearcats, something like that?
It is Bearcats.
Bearcats, yeah. I said, you got to at least memorize some of this stuff. And it's got to be Bearcats. What if I'm the bouncer? She's like, geez, thanks, Dad. I'm like, be careful.
Never had a fake ID. I used my brother's ID. On senior trip, high school.
Yeah.
Took my, so I knew his birthday and his name, middle name.
Some resemblance, perhaps.
Some resemblance enough. And we went to, Sarasota. They didn't care. Whatever. It was fine. But my son, when he was in high school a few years ago, the fake ID scene is so upgraded from anything I had seen. He had several fake IDs over the years that had our actual address, his actual information.
Several? Wow.
Had to
That's
upgrade.
awesome.
He had to upgrade.
Spy?
Sometimes, a few of them were confiscated. He'd get another one. But just online, I was like, how do you know how to get these? It looks dead straight up like a license.
Wow.
They were incredible. And now he's going to be 24 next month, and he had a guy last week in Nashville. A guy took his ID at a bar and said, "No, get out of here," and put his ID in his pocket. Thought it was a fake. The bouncer confiscated. He's just short of his 24th birthday.
Yeah, right.
He's like, "Dude, that's a real license." The guy goes, "Yeah, right. Get out of here." And he had a whole thing, and he goes, "I'll call the police." And my son said, "Please do. Yeah. I need my driver's license. I'm taking a trip, dude. It's a real." He was like, "What is? How can you possibly?"
Yeah. What was he objecting to?
He just said he thought it was a fake. I don't know. It's just a bouncer being a douche.
Yeah, it turns out the counterfeit ones are so good right now, it makes the DMV ones look like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, and having once been a doorman / bouncer douchebag myself,
Gorman the doorman.
I can speak about it.
That's it.
Yeah, I was. I worked at a bar, and it was right across the street from a college campus, and I had a real simple policy: every one of those girls is getting in, and just about 90% of those guys are fake IDs, whether they are are not.
Sounds like a successful bar to me.
Well, anytime if it was 3 or more dudes together, I just assumed they must be in a frat. They must be douchebags. No way. That was just that simple. I'm not letting a group of guys from a fraternity in together.
No. Yep.
That's a recipe for malfeasance if I've ever heard one.
That's just keeping the cosmic balance.
However, you clearly 18-year-old women, come on in. All of you. Let's go. Bring it.
I don't care if you are 8 feet 5 inches tall. Come on in.
This is the kind of thing that never happens to me. And I find myself in a lot of bathrooms at restaurants, at airports, at any number of places I go. I've never had a problem. I know people who will literally just hold it forever. Like, I got to pee, but I'm going to wait till I get home. Not me. If I'm at a movie theater and I just get up and go. I mean, whatever. It's no big deal. Marysville, Ohio, a small town in Ohio, in a public bathroom at a movie theater last week, somebody noticed there was a bit in a bathroom stall. There's a little trash can in each stall, like a little place to put trash. Yeah. And somebody was in there and they looked in there and they're like, "Is that a roll of bills?" They reach into the trash can, they pull out a roll of a few $1,000s. Went into another stall. There was more. $25,000 left in various bathroom stall trash cans at a movie theater. $25K.
Holy wait! So first of all, why were you looking in the garbage can?
I don't know. Maybe they were.
But so I'm thinking to myself, so I'm going to hide the money. It'll be in the little garbage can in the stalls down at the local movie theater. Okay, great. I'll pick it up down there. Fantastic. Because nobody's going to look in the frickin'.
You would think no one's going to look at there. At the same, not at the same time, in the same town, a week later, at a KFC, in the bathroom trash can, $12,000 was found.
What the hell's going on in Marysville, Ohio?
Who's leaving that kind of money for someone else? And to your point, like in the bathroom, but it does seem like a safe place to leave your extra cash. I'm not digging through. Like I say, I'll go to the bathroom, but I'm not going to dig through the trash can.
Tony said that. How many movies have there been about to where they
the
put
witness
these
protection
witness protection
plan,
programs? They put you in these small towns like, I don't know, Marysville, Ohio. They stash
Ohio,
out there.
It's notorious for having witness protection.
Yeah, where the bad guys aren't going to find you, the mobsters aren't going to get to you, and so
that's
there's a little.
That's that old adage. I bet he's in Marysville. I never knew what it meant. Oh no, sorry. So wait, you're saying that's where they do drops like that? Like if you're in witness protection, you're hidden, you got a fake identity, and there's a cash part to this, there's a payment part to this. That's what they'll do. They'll just do a cash drop.
Don't they just drop it off at the house? You're in the witness protection program.
Really.
Just swing by the pad.
Dress up like a milkman.
You want me to go down to the freaking KFC, into the bathroom, and dig through the garbage? Okay, dude, can you just leave it? And
just get a good humor truck. I'll come out and buy a push-up and hand me the cash.
My mailbox.
Man,
let's put it in my mailbox.
We'll let you know if any more money turns up. But I'm curious. That one does get my attention. Like that's a lot of jack in a small town bathroom.
You know what you have? You have a lot of people running around Marysville, Ohio these days, checking out the garbage cans.
I get damn straight you do.
Yeah,
I certainly would. Hell, I'm in Minneapolis and I'm going to look at some garbage cans. Screw that.
Just peak. How many times have you walked away from $25,000 in cash because you forgot to look in the garbage can?
I'm curious about the people who found that cash because it was obviously reported.
Why?
That's what I mean.
Who the hell would report that?
I think if I found a rolled up, a bunch of hundos, 25 large, in a bathroom, the first thing you do, I guess, is look for cameras. You just want to find out if this is a test
or a prank.
If this is that douchebag from ABC's 2020. We put $25,000 in the bathroom. Yeah, who would take it?
You're not doing anything illegal by taking it out of the garbage.
It's in the garbage.
I might just walk out first and look around and see if I see a Guido or someone suspicious out there waiting to come in the bathroom, waiting for me to leave, and then think, all right. But if there's just a regular old KFC scene, I'm going back in. Yeah, that money's going home with me.
Yeah, found money. I know I found a $20 bill once.
Yeah.
That's about the extent of it. I mean, you pick up a coin here and there.
Yeah.
I certainly don't remember ever seeing like a $100 bill just laying out in the wild. If I did, I would assume it was there was a prank involved.
Yeah,
there was something going on.
I've told the story too many times on the air about finding the oldster that passed away when I was the maintenance manager over at Oak Grove by Loring Park, and his family wouldn't come and pick up his stuff, so they're like, Brian, get up there and haul it all down to storage. And he had $4,000 stashed in his mattress.
Oh.
Yeah. And remember, the family would not come get his stuff. His name was Ed, and I used to sit out there and be chipping ice, and Ed would come out and talk to me, retired from the railroad, and said, yeah, my family never comes to see me. I'm like, well, where are they? Well, they live here in Minnesota, and they don't come to see you with those miserable. So I'm sitting there thinking, why should they get the money?
Yeah.
I don't have a pot to piss in. Unfortunately, I was married at the time to someone with morals, or I don't know. Right? Yeah. She's like, "No, we have to give the money back." I'm like, "What? Are you sure we have to?" We did turn it in, and the family gave us $100.
I just read an article. It's called a conscience, and I was like, "Wait,
yeah,
really?"
That's what she had. She had a conscience.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that. So my soul is clean of that. I guess I'm not gonna smoke a turd in hell on that one.
Damn it! But you're not bitter at all.
No.
No, you could. That's $3,900 that you couldn't have possibly found. You know what? You probably would have gotten in trouble. It's for the best.
Yeah,
it's for the best.
Yeah, I got in trouble anyway, and I was broke. I would have had more fun getting into trouble.
So here's a weird one. We talk oftentimes about world records. A lot of times you see someone going for a Guinness book. They see something, they set their sights on it. They're like, I think I can do that one. Like most wheelies in a lawnmower in a ditch or whatever. It's some really weird ones out there. There's a world record that it's one that you would never think of, and then when you see the number, the actual where the line is, it's shockingly small, at least to me. Here's the record I'm discussing: the most people dressed as dinosaurs in one place. That's a real world record. The number, now when I read that there is a standing world record, most human beings dressed as dinosaurs in one place, I immediately think at least 4 figures. I go 1,000 and up.
I was thinking 5,000.
The number is 252.
Yeah, that's
not 252,000. I think you could get that in New York City if you just advertised well. 252 people dressed as dinosaurs is the world record. Right. There was an attempt in Canada to break the record. They put the word out. We need you to show up in your dinosaur costumes and come to the thing, and we'll do the record, and we'll all have fun. Here's the deal. 6,000 people is the estimate that turned up. But they didn't get the world record because officials said we weren't ready for that many, and we just couldn't get an official count.
Just count them.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's the word. One. You go over there. 2.
We had no idea there was going to be so many people, and because of we were overrun with dinosaurs, we couldn't get an official count.
You only have to count to 253. You don't have to count them all.
You were overrun in Labatt's blue, is what that tells me. What in the world? Wow. But so they never got an official count. It didn't go through. It's not on the books, but at least we do have a couple of the dinosaurs on the record.
It's fun. Everybody should do it once in their life, eh? It gets you out enjoying the day. I hope we break the world record. This is just awesome. I'm so glad they put this on out here. This is our territory. This is dinosaur land.
Poor guy's devastated. I hope we get the world record.
It's
Sorry,
the greatest moment of my life.
I hope he didn't go home and hang himself in his dinosaur outfit. Why do they have so many dinosaur outfits in Canada? I mean, if you emptied out every costume, gift shop, goofball, this is dinosaur land? Am I missing something up in Canada?
I didn't realize it was dinosaur land. They have found a lot of fossils up there, which was news to me. I just think about a cave in France and somewhere out in New Mexico. That's somewhere in between the two.
It gets you outside.
It's fun. Everybody should do it once in their life, eh? It gets you out enjoying the day. I hope we break the world record. This is just awesome. I'm so glad they put this on out here. This is our territory. This is dinosaur land.
That's on the bucket list.
I wish I could give that entire country just a big wedgie. You know,
they let you. Just ask them.
It's for a good time, eh?
Hey, sorry, I couldn't help but notice you're wearing some Fruit of the Looms there. Do you mind if I get a handful and pull them right up your ass crack? Go for it.
It's fun. Everybody should do it once in their life, eh?
Give them a yank or two.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
That's
sorry.
That's fine.
So sorry.
That's fine. I'm going to order some poutine and you pull out of my drawers.
Oh, my gosh.
KQ talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. Do we have a phone call, Tony?
Ran from Mound and some found Cashola.
We got found Cashola. Good morning. What do you got for us?
Hey, how you doing today?
Great.
Good. So I was a flight attendant working on Delta, and I was the back flight attendant. So my job after the flight lands to make sure that nobody's sleeping or leaves something.
Right.
But as I was walking up the plane, I saw a purse on the inside by the window, and I went and picked it up and looked inside, and there must have been $6,000 in $100 bills.
Oh, boy.
So I was going to go bring it up to a gate agent, and all of a sudden I see this lady who was on my plane running and screaming back to the gate, saying, and I can't understand her really because she was a foreigner and stuff. So, she's yelling that she left her wallet, and I've got it behind me, so she doesn't see it. And I go, well, what was the wallet? What did the wallet look like? And she explained to me perfectly, so I knew it was her. Plus, her picture was in, her license was in the wallet. And so I gave it to her.
Just the wallet, not the cash.
I didn't even get
You didn't
any
get
money. Award.
Well, you could have outrun her.
That's called a swim move.
I don't know. I was old.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the right thing.
I gotta think in the moment though. If you got $6,000, at least a hundo. Throw a hundo to the person who retrieved
exactly.
it.
I'm thinking maybe 20, 40 or something, but nothing. But I was taught as a young boy to be honest with people because hopefully they'll be honest with you.
Sure,
you got some karma coming, buddy.
No,
it is karma.
No, you did the right thing. I think she should have rewarded you with not a huge amount, just a little something for the effort.
Just a little something. The C-note would have been fine.
Just a little taste. All I want is just a little
That's
taste.
correct.
A hand job.
Well done, sir.
I appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job. I've been listening to you guys for like 50 years now, and it only gets better each day.
Well, there's our $100 bill. Thank you, brother.
Right.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
no pressure. Now we got to raise our game tomorrow.
All righty. Have a good one.
Thanks
you.
for the call.
Yeah, that's a great call. If you guys were walking around with $6,000, traveling with $6,000, would you ever put it down? I'd have one of those. It would be handcuffed to me.
Right, duct taped to your leg.
I don't trust myself, exactly. I would be the idiot that would walk off without it. But so I'd be like, $6,000. This is going to, you're right. It would be duct taped to my rib cage.
Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, the only time I ever traveled, I didn't even know. It was traveler's checks. I remember long time
leave
ago.
home without 'em.
I had American Express traveler's checks one time, and I was like, I've got to sign it. I sign it before I leave, and then I sign it there too. It was like such a complicated process.
Right.
And at some point along the way, I was like, wait, I have a credit card. Why do I have traveler's checks? I don't know. I grew up
Good
seeing
marketing.
I grew up seeing Carl Malden tell me I need traveler's checks, and then the first time I was taking a trip, I was like, I think I'm supposed to get those traveler's checks.
You're like an executive.
I forgot all about that. What a weird memory that was.
We just do what we think we should do. I was traveling to Jamaica, and the first thing I do is I walk into the airport and I take like $400 in American cash and exchange it for Jamaican cash.
Yeah.
We get to our hotel and they go, whatever you do, don't exchange your money because they love American money. They hate their own money is worthless.
Yeah.
They don't want it. Give them American money. I'm like, I'm going to be the biggest a-hole on this trip. I was like, here's some.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's Jamaican money.
Great.
I didn't know.
Great.
I'm a dummy.
These things happen. Let's look back. It's May 16th, and on this day in the year 2000, in the ninth inning at Wrigley Field, the Dodgers were leading the Cubs 6-5. A bunch of Cubs fans sitting behind the Dodgers bullpen were getting rowdy. They were heckling the Dodgers pitchers, and then they began throwing things at the players. Ooh. Finally, a fan reached over and punched the back of Dodger catcher's Chad Kruder's head. Punched him in his head and then ran off with his hat.
What in the hell?
Chad Kruder jumped the fence and ran up into the crowd, as did the rest of the bullpen. And they had an absolute melee in the crowd. Dodgers beating up drunk Cubs fans. At the end of the fight, he still never found his cap. Still never got his hat back. Frank Robinson had just been named president of on-field operations. He came down very hard. 16 players as well as 3 coaches were suspended for a total of 84 games.
Wow.
I mean, you got to be a professional and take the high road. Yeah, you got to be a professional.
And then
somebody hits one of my teammates in the back of the head, it's on.
A bunch of Dodgers got suspended, and then the Cubs announced they were cutting back on the number of beer vendors at the stadium. This is why we can't have nice things. Because for every 9 of us who want to drink more than we should at a baseball game, there's one guy who wants to take a Dodgers hat off his head. Yeah. Way to go, dude. You were Bartman before Bartman, ruining fun for all Cubs fans.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.